down, coming out of PE town. Got a drink, find a shot, never mind your liver, get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle, have a Gino shot.
Gino Shot!
Get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle, get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gino Spot Thursday night. It's become our staple now, Thursday nights and Tuesday nights indeed. And we are moving forward into the post-COVID, post-epoxylips time when we can forget about Omicron and Delta and coronavirus and God knows how many other names. We're sick of hearing it. We are tired of it now. It must go away forever and ever. And we can't wait until the masks and stuff disappear as well. That'll be great. Herman de Blanche. Hello, Herman de Blanche. Lovely to have you on as well. Herman, of course, remember from way back, what was it? Pizza Palace and what was it? What was Pizza Palace become afterwards? It was not Diesel and Dust or something. I can't remember the name of the place now. Rattle and Hum. That was it. That was I remember the album name. Rattle and Hum. Molweni. Oh, Michael Clement. It's nice to have you on board as well. Michael's obviously down at the beachfront taking photos and videos of the weather down there. It looks like a bit overcast today, but very nice, not too windy, very lekker. And thank you guys for coming on board. Brian Wilkinson, Wakatu, always online as well. Online, Brian Wilkinson. Sean Sullivan, good evening to you indeed. It's fantastic. This show is growing into the Eastern Cape, and it hopefully will become an Eastern Cape staple. That's what I want. That's what I want indeed. And I was just talking to Wayne Jepson online as well today, saying that it's great to connect people, and it's people that are interested in the Eastern Cape, in East London, PE, Queenstown. What's it? Konke now is King Williamstown, and connecting people, making sure we stay in touch, because that's what we can do on the internet. Philip Numanikatos, indeed, you're one of those oaks that's been in the last 2 times. Fantastic. Get the surname right, or Casey will spike your door. Numanikatos. I'm going to try to get it right, Philip. I'm trying to get it right. And I actually popped online to have a look, because I believe they had a reunion a little while ago for you guys. And I saw Garth Webster doing a bit of an MC move, and Barbara doing a little get-together reunion, which looked fantastic. I had a little peek at online. What a brilliant goalie. And goalie, that's Philip was a goalie. Big bloody goalie. I think things are so big. I don't even think you needed to do anything. That was the thing. You just had to put your arms out and you covered the entire goal place. Brendan Kelly, good to see you as well. Brendan, I don't know if you do with the cars and racing and stuff as well. because I yesterday I must get in touch with the Scribantes again and see how they're doing with their Lamborghini Huracans that they've got going bedorned with the I think they're doing like a sort of Le Mans kind of thing. It's a endurance racing with their Lamborghinis, which could be really like a Camilla Ellis, lovely from Warmer indeed, all the way from Warmer. Socrates is online. Socrates is good. And Ronald Minnow, Ronald is on, waking up early these days. I realize he said to me it's 5:30 in the morning, so he has to get up early. Some people get up early for runs, but Ronald gets up early to watch Gino Spot. Thank you to our sponsors, of course, Fitch and Leeds. That's right, Fitch and Leeds who've been supporting us, and Spa who've been marvelous indeed. And so we're going to, I think there's a golf day coming up for Spa as well that we're doing. It's going to be fantastic. Fat Cats as our caterer tonight as well. Fat Cats, fantastic. Look at that lovely food. Look at it. Look at those things. I don't even know what all that is, but it looks very nice. And then, and of course, Amobia, our internet provider, who's been absolutely marvelous over this time as well, sorting out any hassles that we may have. And our internet has been running very nicely indeed. All right. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Gino Spot. Let me sing your comments. Tell me where you're watching from and what you've been doing. Anything. Tell me anything. Tell me what you're doing. What do you got in your hand? Get yourself a drink. I got myself a little Fitch and Leeds. A little Fitch and Leeds as well. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Gino Spot. Tonight we got Warren Jack. We're going to be talking soccer and all sorts. That's right. Oh, Raipa. Onze rij die paard te staan. Oh, Raipa, so deur die lewensbaan. En Wendy talking Thompson, say hello Gino in the Gary. En Weston McCoy said it's 7. I don't know what is 7. But I know my Yvonne later Pierce. Yeah, and Brendan Kelly, very in touch with the motorsport. I think we must have you on the show. Yes, Laura Jane, Jackie's online, and Richard, Stephen Pritchard say, how's it with the naught instead of a O? I say, and the Mark Bodley. You, my man, Mark Bodley, from the home center of the universe, a COUBE. Oh, yeah, and Wendy Taylor from South End. It's quite lekker there, 'cause you can see the sea. Deirdre, curtains are watching too. Ah, come on now. Hey yo, Michael Clement, Summer Strand playing on sound online Survivor. This yes, surviving COVID. Brian Wilkinson, oh, he says the show must go on. Yes, and the best show of weekly entertainment. 'Cause it's like TV, but you can chew the oak. That's right. Alan Carter is there also, the Oaks. Sean Sullivan having supper. I'm getting hungry just looking at you. Barbara Manor and Bruce Vincent. All right, XBE from Joburg. You know, I love that. Bruce, I love that. Again, cheers to you, Bruce Vincent, because what we're trying to do is connect the PE Oaks. Once you've lived in PE, it's your home, you know, and I think a lot of people take that on. It's like, once you've been in PE, well, that is the only place you think of as home, because it's a friendly place. It's got bloody nice weather and beautiful beaches, and we're going to go with that theory. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a little bit of an advert from Fitch and Leeds. Let's see what
Fitch and Leeds have got a mixer that'll fix you on the table. Fitch and Leeds, the bespoke mixer for the discerning individual.
We're going to call in our guest, Mr. Warren Jack is here tonight. Fantastic. Hello, Warren. Nice to have you. Let me get these mics sorted out here. Make sure they're all in the right spot. Sit down. Welcome to my office. And these you'll only need when we chat to whoever. You hang on to those. All right. So we on here with the mics. I think we can switch off this now as well. And it's been a hell of a couple of weeks of sport.
Yeah,
you know, we've had so many oaks on talking about soccer and rugby and cricket and Lord knows what else, and everybody seems to be connected.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's Port Elizabeth. It's so
It is.
small, and Garth obviously is my mate. I mean, I've been with him for
Garth?
100 years. He's looked after me, and you know, we've done every sport just about. But that's the thing with Port Elizabeth. You know,
Yeah.
it's such a friendly city, and the people you connect with are so good. And you know, I've played sport all over the world with my soccer career. And I must say, at the end of the day, Port Elizabeth's the place.
You know, it's
I mean,
okay,
it's the
mate.
place. I mean, I don't care. There's so many moans and groans, but at the end of the day, Port Elizabeth is
Yeah.
a really great place. I mean, there's opportunities here for us.
There is still,
as you
it's
mentioned,
still.
our beaches, everything.
Ah.
I mean, it's fantastic, and we're going in the right direction as far as the industries go, with our waterfront possibly coming, all those type of things that we can
Yes.
chat about.
Oh, maybe you can give a bit of shed a bit of light on that
well-
bloody Transnet. You know,
Yeah,
I'm waiting. Everybody's waiting for Transnet to bugger off out
Yeah,
of
well,
this.
look, there's good news
Yeah.
coming on the horizon, but I know
Really?
people have been hearing that for some time. But,
Yeah.
things are going to happen there, and fairly shortly. So I think just keep your eye to the press and see what's going on. There's a lot of action and a lot of movement.
Do you know the guys who are making those decisions? I mean, is there anybody we can get on the show that would tell us more about it? I don't
Yeah, you can get hold of a guy like Terry Moss, the racing driver.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Terry controls the land in front of the gym in Newwood there. You know, in the early days, some years ago, there was a guy by the name of Charlie Erasmus.
Yes.
Set up the waterfront development, which entitles, you know where the train used to be in
Yes.
front of the gym? That land, that's 5 hectares of land. It's known as Moreton Bay, which a lot of people don't know.
Ah.
Then you've got
Okay.
11 and 17 hectares with the tanks and all the big problem is
Yeah.
to remove everything.
Yes.
So that whole section is owned by a syndicate, which they got finance to do the development, which Terry's heading up that group. So things are going to go positive there, and they are talking that round
Say
about.
syndicate. It sounds like so dodgy.
Yeah, well, it is. No, so the money's in place and things will happen. Hopefully, they're saying talking about in March, the end of March, they start filling with the tanks and moving them to Kulga, etc. So let's see if that happens. But it's
We
it's
hope
close.
we can only cross fingers that it's going to be March.
Yeah, it'll be great for
the day those things start to move. I mean, it's because it's a blight on our beachfront. And
Yeah, for
imagine,
sure, but imagine if it does come. I mean, you've heard over the years how many times the tourists arrive here, they go to our Addos and travel up to the western coast.
Yes.
They can't stay here, but you look at that in Cape Town in the old days. I mean, you and I, the age group,
Yeah.
remember when there was no waterfront, it just started. Look
Yes.
what that's done for Cape Town alone.
Incredible.
I know there's many other factors, but the waterfront alone, I mean, it brought the values up there in Sea Point. There used to be, excuse me, the prostitutes used to
Yes,
run
the
along
Sea
the-
Point.
I don't know if you remember when Carte Blanche, when they, what was her name? Vanna, that lady, she went and they did a show to pick up, see the guys picking up, and picked up, and I said, no, it's too expensive, and drove off. Anyway, but the values of those apartments now have gone through the roof. I mean, you can pay 12 million rand for an apartment there, like
Sea Point.
120 square meters.
well, I mean, all those buildings have been revamped.
Yeah, well,
and
that's the
they're
thing.
beautiful
see,
as well.
you know, so it's let's hope that type of thing spins and creates Port Elizabeth, because I
Yeah.
mean, I've got passion for the property in Port Elizabeth. I've done a lot of champion. It's just my passion, and that just needs to come before I go one day. That
Yeah.
must be up and running.
Well, I think we must get into that, because I think that's pretty much what you're involved with now is property.
Yeah,
is
that's
that
my
right?
career. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been for 40 years.
Yeah. And at the moment, are there any projects at the moment now that you're busy with?
Yeah, there's quite a number happening. You know, when people say that business is a bit quiet, you know, generally we hear from other agents say it's quiet.
Yeah.
But people got to understand that things are long term. You know, yes, the inquiries aren't there now. I want this, I want a shop, I want this. But developments take time, takes planning, etc.
Yeah.
So we've got some nice things coming up along Circular Drive, which Garth's involved with.
Oh, the hospital there is.
You know, with the hospital, oh look, there's a hospital going to Bay West. I could talk to you about the whole thing, as I say. So, I mean, in Bay West, there's a hospital going, but that site, yes, so they've got the spas going in Circular Drive, a new spa next to Toyota. So there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening in Woman Country Club. I don't know if you know. Woman Country Club. I mean, unfortunately, because of finance, etc., went down. So what we did, we got involved and broker myself, Mazan, who works for me now, has been there for some time, top agent.
Yeah.
we compiled a deal with Old Mutual and purchaser to open up a school there, take the clubhouse away. So the Women Country Club's clubhouse will be taken over. We can change in land in the front to business land to create finance for Women Country Club. So the farmer said, we've been paying plus minus 50,000 a month to keep Women going. The salaries that people do to keep it going. It's tough, but our first load of money is coming from the school deal and with the land package. So hopefully Women Country Club
So
will
it
get
might
back
keep
in.
it going.
Yeah, well, we'll get it going, and it must probably. There's been proposals, been a 9-hole golf course, but there's a lot of land still left over. So let's see what happens. It's all about the finance and how much is involved.
Okay.
You know, so that whole strip is really turning nice, but. You know, as I say, don't start me on property because I'll speak forever.
Yeah,
It's just my
but I love
passion.
it. I love
So,
it because it actually it forms part of the growth of the city,
Yeah,
and
it-
I love to hear positive stories because I really do believe that PE's got so much to offer. I mean, if you look at the township, for example, the Warman Town, if we start to uplift there and then things get better, then the property values go up, and then everything.
Yeah, look,
wins,
there's a lot of issues in the Warmer area. I mean, the Warmer Township, I mean, it's factually known and the council known, everybody knows it. There's methane gas under the ground there. I mean, it's frightening where the people are living. You know, it's really frightening.
It's all done, though,
Yeah, but the council have purchased land behind the golf club where they're hoping to build. Arlington Racetrack has been now sold and purchased by Durban developers, or something will happen there.
What
So
actually
hopefully they'll
happened with that?
create more housing. Yeah, that's a
Arlington-
60 hectare development,
That's huge,
which is God's client. So
Okay.
us at M Square happy. Then this is what my agent said. You know, they bring in
Yes.
business, so we'll get that project.
Incredible.
But it's just amazing how values and things change.
Yeah.
And, which is interesting facts, which makes my game passionate, and that's why I love it. You know,
Yeah,
the warehousing market there's a new, I believe, and I've got, as I say, 40 years as I've seen it go along. And remember, P's not Joburg.
Yeah.
It's P's. So
Yeah.
I know every single nook and cranny in
Yes.
Port Elizabeth.
Yes.
You know, as far as the commercial side goes,
Yeah.
we're now going to start a residential department,
Okay.
which is going tremendously. I've got about 4 developments already. We've got a young guy in by the name of Daniel Matthews.
Yes.
He's from a previous company. We've brought him in.
Okay.
I've got this Mazon youngster of mine, and
Yes, yes.
I'm 60 years old, and they
Yeah.
technology and this. We've created a new company. We're getting developments. Then I've got my sister involved, Deirdre,
Yes.
who is there. She's the old school. She looks after them, and she's been with me for 20 years. I mean, she's been one of our backbones.
Yeah.
Her daughter works for me. She's my engine.
Okay.
And-
So you're surrounded with
I
people.
mean, it's just,
Yeah.
but it takes
Good
time
team.
to set it up, you know.
And I mean your staff, like I've mentioned before on the show, your staff has to be, if you get low staff turnover, that's what you want to aim for the people that have been there for a long time.
Well,
And-
that's it. You know, the nice part is at the end of the day, family is also is a big part. But
Yeah.
we don't even at the office. The office is business is
Yeah.
business, so it's good. And I've got a really good team. All of them. I mean, I've got guys that were F&B bank charges. Sean Payton, I mean, he's tremendous. He
Sean.
does. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
You know,
not
he's
sure he is.
tremendous. He's a
big-
MacGyver. I mean,
Sean
from my
was
cars,
with me and VP.
from my cars to registrations to everything.
Oh, wow,
Well, Sean,
he does.
he loves admin and he loves talking. So he's just fantastic.
Quite a rugby player, Sean. At
I
this
believe
time.
so.
He's come
I
off
believe
our
so.
team.
Yeah, look, I've heard a lot of stories, but I don't think a man would like me to mention myself.
No, listen,
Sean, but-
Sean, there
yeah.
was one thing about Sean Payton, and he was never scared to tackle anybody. He was
Oh.
the biggest oak on the field there. Sean would take him out.
No, he's
Just like a
tremendous.
Lewis.
Can you put that mic
So-
at the centre
Oh, okay.
of the two of you?
Okay, I'm gonna put this one.
The other one's getting a bit noisy.
Oh, okay. All right. It's a noisy mic. Is it this thing?
Might be.
Okay.
Yeah, so I built a nice team and that's it. But as I said, talking about the market itself, I mean, just to give you a little example
Yeah.
on how values are grown. I mean, I did the Builders Warehouse Complex, which
Okay,
everybody
okay.
knows,
Yeah.
which is now 11 years ago. Believe
Wow,
it, only
okay.
11.
Yeah.
But we paid 65 Rand a square meter for the land there. Then, today, that same land you'd get at a push 2,000 a square.
Oh.
So it just shows you,
Yeah.
and I did the entire William Moffat with all the car dealerships along
Yes.
it as well. So I've been quite involved in the property industry in PE. I mean, I've been involved in literally every development, as far as shopping centres
Okay.
alone. And then, but my big part is the warehousing market.
Did you start M Squared as warehousing, or was it
No,
commercial property when you started out?
Yeah, look, when I started with my mentor, and an absolute gentleman, and most probably to this day, there's nobody I believe that knows property industry than him. It's Philip Bowman. I mean, he took me under his wing those years, and there was no other agents.
Wow.
And I worked for him for about 17 years, and he kept saying to me, "Go on your own, Warren, go on your own." He's such a beautiful man.
Yeah.
But you know, the grass is never greener on the other side.
Yeah.
But I had his backing and I had his help, which he stayed with me afterwards. And then I've grown my company now for, I think, about 25, 26 years. Of course, I've got my wife that's involved.
Okay.
My daughters are now getting involved, Laura and Caitlin. Okay. So, you know, I want them to get into it.
Yes.
Because it's a good industry to be in.
Yeah. Especially
Especially if you know what you're doing. And I don't believe that anybody can get better training from where we are.
Yeah.
I mean, what I've set up, we've seen everything.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, and so even Green Acres. I mean, I went from door to door, knocked on door to door with Philip Bowman.
Really?
When it used to be houses along there, to get all the houses together, and there's stories that can be told there.
Yeah,
and
to
those
try and get
office
it
blocks,
past.
all those office blocks there in Green Acres. I mean, that day I remember we went to the auction for the land. Nobody arrived.
What?
And my client, which was Sunlam at the time, paid 900,000 for that big portion of land. That land must be worth 50 million today. So, you know, so these are the nice things that I see, and the numbers that take place.
Yeah.
And it's great. And William Moffat, as I say, but now things are moving in the western suburbs, up in that area, Bay West area, the Green Bushes, industrial parks, which we've now got state-of-the-art buildings. Because remember, we've always been behind. We've got the asbestos.
I've seen some of those
We've got asbestos warehousing in Deal Party, and that's where I believe there's going to be a big change in the whole market. Yes, with rental increases and things like that. So there's a change in our market, I believe, in the commercial side.
My son's going to play DJ stuff at Black Impala there. They've got and I was saying, like, a club in Dill Party? Are you nuts? But you know, those are the places you buy now. You're going to be making your money in the future.
Unfortunately, it's very difficult to buy something in there, because I mean, in the early days, mainly the Jewish fraternity came in, saw, you know, they see everything. They came in and they bought the big players of Port Elizabeth, and they held on to it.
Okay.
So, but there's a lot of leasing transactions that take place. That's where the brokers feed off.
Okay.
You know, so
that land's very good, because it was Deal Party was the party from Deal, which is a place in England. I found out that the other. Somebody took a photo. Was it Dirk Siegfried? Dirk Siegfried took a photo of Walmer and Deal, and they were the two towns.
Yeah, linked it.
And then obviously the Deal Party was from that for the settlers, you know, when they came out.
Yes.
When they came out on the ship.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things, places with a lot of history as well, which I love to hear about. We had what's his name, Boetenswaar.
Oh yeah.
Alan Veyer and the guys, they know that history.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to say that land has been bought up and they're hanging on to it. So they're obviously getting their good rentals on it as well.
Sometimes if I go back, let's say 15, 20 years, I'd sell a complex for 3.5 million. Today it's worth 65, 80 million. Remember, rentals those days was R6.50. Today it's at 30, 35 Rand a square.
It's phenomenal.
So which obviously brings your value up, and as you know, commercial bonds 10 years, so it was paid off years ago. So it's just.
So you always talk about square meterage.
Yeah, well, that's where I came with my name.
It just comes off the tongue like this. I'm like thinking, how many square meters is a house? I don't know, 160. I don't know.
You can't believe how many people ask me what our logo means.
Yeah.
And I say I sell square meters.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the truth. That's what you're paying for. I mean, that was also interesting the way I got that, because the day that I left Philip, I was. 2 people from the company were going to come with me to run the operation. When I said, right, we're going, they said, no, we're staying.
Oh.
Which to this day, it's their issues. And I went and I had a cup of coffee.
So clearly it's all been solved.
Yeah, it's like I'll send them Valentine's gifts and all that sort of stuff. Anyways, I went for coffee and I asked the waitress, do you want to be my PA? And I opened up in my office in my back of my home, my wife there, and it just went forward like that. And I mean, I worked for many years from my home, and that's why I say to this day, with all this COVID and this, and people want to work at home. Yes, it's all nice because we want to get there now, but the productivity is not the same.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone tells me. I've been through it.
Yes.
I've been through recessions. I've been through all of it. And I personally believe that we'll all be back at work within a year or two.
You know, I was just talking to my cousin's an architect with the Bausch Fogarty, and he was saying the same things, that top management has got a different view from the guys that are working in the office. The guys that work in the office are like, we love working from home because 100%. I can go fetch my kids, I can do this, I can make lunch, but that's what you're doing, that's the problem. So the top management are looking down, this is thinking like, hey, maybe this is not a great plan.
100%.
Come back to work.
Yeah, well, that's it. So, when you look at the apps and the F&B and P, I mean, that new F&B building in Newton Parks, standing 3/4 of it is empty. Everybody's at home.
Yeah. Crazy, and
it's frightening.
I mean, the banking sector has tried to embrace that as well.
Yeah.
I think Investec and those guys are, a lot of them working from home now.
Yeah, look, our council take big advantage of the COVID.
I'm sure.
No, that is frightening. If there's a cough, the whole floor goes up.
Yeah,
No, it's
really.
Which is one of the biggest problems in the property industry is our council.
Okay.
And the service we get is the property industry.
Yes, trying to
I've
keep
lost a
things
lot
past.
of investors that would do developments. I just don't do it anymore because I mean, to get your approvals nowadays, it's ludicrous.
Nightmare.
I mean, I've been working on Warmer for 9 years.
Yeah, well, this
Warmer Country Club, and it's coming to a head now.
What kind of hassles do you all hail the king says?
There's Ashley Myers. Her father is there's one of my top brokers.
Wogsy.
Herman, yeah.
Is it Wogsy?
Yeah. He's been with me the longest, that youngster.
Oh wow.
Well, I call him a youngster, but he's top of his game.
Yeah, so how's it Warren good vibes? Says Julian
Buerta. Yeah, I went to the World Cup with his dad.
Carl Baumeister,
Baumeister.
we're going to have him on the show. Carl, be ready for your call.
Like Carl, egg and toast, brother. Where's it?
Is he like
from school? No, from the school days. We were at school together.
Oh, really?
We played sport. I mean, what a tremendous sportsman.
Yeah. We were just talking about him.
Carl. He was unbelievable. And every day after school, we go to his house and he'd make me egg on toast. And then Carl and Ray, his brother, would play cricket in the backyard with a tennis ball that sloped like this. Now we had great times. I mean, as you know, played squash all that together.
I think Carl's one of the best all-rounders that
second best. Ask him.
Who's the best one?
Garth Webster.
Oh, right. Michelle Clarence saying, how's it? Worry, Jake. What happened to the pool what happened with the pool?
That's from my local pub, The Cave. It's in Warmer, next to the Warmer Township there. And we had a pool competition. That's where I go and I relax. Because wherever I go, people say, how's the property industry? This and that. So you're going to have your local place. Yes. In Warmer, and I go there and we play pool. There's really nice guys.
Whereabouts is that?
In Moore Road, 4 Moore Road, Warmer.
I don't even know where Moore Road is.
There's braai there every day. You go there now, they braai.
Is it?
No, it's just so festive.
What avenues is this?
It's between 6th and 7th.
Okay.
Just off Albert Road, the engine that's on the corner of 7th there. I mean,
lovely.
most people are scared to go there, but they've got these big
dodgy little places. They're quite lekker. Yeah. Michelle Kelly says, always great. Thanks, Michelle. So Brendan, her husband, is always away from home. So, we won't say anything, Michelle. I don't know. He's always away from home, so we don't know who's there in the other times. Beatrice Lowe, Warren, Rudy is challenging you to a game.
No, you see, they just gun me. Now gunning me. That Rudy guy, I mean, I don't want to tell you about him, but what a gentleman, also great. He's one of the key players that everybody loves. But there's so much, as we know, kocheling that goes on. And, okay, Rudy, I'll say officially you're the best pool player at the Cave. I think he's going to love that. Now, there's my lovely daughter.
Jane Jack, there we go.
Hello, Laura Jane.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 22 and the other one's 19. Laura's studying law at the moment, and her sister's Caitlin she's trying to do psychology.
Okay.
But she's very good. She's now at my company. Getting along there because I want to swing them now.
Were your daughters at
Clarendon, yes,
and then
St. Aidan's. Sorry?
St. Aidan's, they're in Church Road. Were they in Church? I remember seeing that. Was it a black Mercedes that you guys had?
Yes, I had. They were Twinkle Tots in Clarendon, then Theodore.
Oh, okay. So it was Clarendon Park that I think I remember your car.
That's where I first saw you.
Brendan Kelly's, he's home. Brendan's home. Okay, well then I won't go around then, Brendan. I won't come around to Michelle this time then. Just let me know when you're away.
Whose band's back? Right. Hello, Ray. How are you, my China?
Also, Ray, another chap we'll have to have on the show.
Yeah,
at
he
some
also a
stage.
legend.
Liquor industry, I think.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah.
Absolutely. We've heard a lot about you, Ray, so I'm sure you've got a lot of stories to tell.
No, that's for sure. That'll be for sure, yeah.
But so property market going forward. I mean, with COVID now, you're saying that people are coming back to the office.
Yeah, look, I'm saying that eventually. Well, it's slowly and
Yeah.
surely coming back. I mean, I can see the swing in the market with rentals that have been achieved now, and
Yes.
from all my landlords that are telling me they're getting more inquiries.
Okay.
So I slowly see it back. So I think I'm right, and I think it'll all get back and up and running again. But there's a lot of people that have taken some serious knocks.
Yeah.
Because of obviously vacancies and that sort of stuff. So, so it's not as easy as everybody thinks.
Some industries have been decimated by this thing. So we hope that that it'll come back including our one. Yeah, no. But we're also getting the calls are coming in, and I think I agree with you that people would want to come back to the office again, you know, and that means that commercial property then is going to do. I presume do
well,
better.
it's hopefully. I mean, at the moment, the logistic market is not only from COVID, but that in our industry's gone quiet. I mean, the warehousing space used to just go like there's always used to be inquiries, but that's gone down. But that's because of the economy and different things.
Okay,
What happened in Natal and blah blah blah. It's a different issue, but
I would think that warehousing would be more demand.
yeah, look,
for it
some of
because
them are
that.
the food industries like Pioneer Foods.
Yes.
They've taken a lot. I mean, that Ashley Myers, her father's Mayprop Properties, which is in Port Elizabeth, is one of the biggest.
I remember old company that too.
Yeah, that big company, and that's I mean that's where I did a lot of my early days with them. I mean, they came along and said, right, we want to buy warehousing. So I thought, well, here we go, I'm your mate. So we had like an open checkbook to buy, and they were spot on.
I mean, did you have mentors back then helping you with the thing? I mean,
Yeah,
also Philip as well.
Philip, and then I learned a lot from Gary Myers.
Okay.
His father, Jack Myers, he's a billionaire. He lived in Monaco back and forth. Knows the game back to front.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, look, there's a lot of
Trump.
Yeah, no, he's a bit of a Donald Trump.
Hopefully, not only in the property.
Yeah, 100. He's a bit of a UF as well.
Oh right. Nice.
Well, he was in the young days.
Yeah, no, got his gown and his cigar. There we go. Jaco Becker saying, how's it? Don't forget to mention your mates. What does your security and handyman work?
Yeah, no, he's very good. He's also from our local place here.
Okay.
He does all the maintenance. He's very good.
Okay.
You know, it's difficult to rely on people nowadays, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry wants to do, but he's top of his game.
You need people, or no matter what you're doing, I think you need to be consistent. I mean,
well, that's the thing, you see. And then, but everybody wants to beat everybody's prices. Where at the end of the day, it's all saying goedkoop is duurkoop.
Yeah.
And I think my boertjie there has got it spot on. So yeah. That is very good, yeah.
That mates, that does your security, the I say. That or what? Yeah, wait, what does your security or that does your security?
Yeah.
You can write deliciously, it's fine, Jaco. But I'm glad to hear that's coming back again. And then you say residential, you don't do a lot of.
No, we got into it now.
Just
We've now
now.
opened up M Square Residential.
Residential, okay.
And
So that's
now
a new
as I
thing.
say, and it's flying.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yesterday we tied up a new development, 48 units. By the time this afternoon finished, I think we're at 65 or something, which once again Sean and Daniel handle at my office.
Okay.
So it's nice, you know, so with my network, I've never gone out and looked for it because I didn't have the backing to do the product properly. Yeah, so we did our first one maybe 8 months ago in Warmer, Villiers Road.
Villiers Road.
Villiers
Where I grew
Village.
up.
Villiers Village, we did that.
Lovely. Oh, is that up 14th Avenue, 13th, 14th Avenue?
No, between 5th and 2nd and 3rd. Prime position,
second and
the
third.
airport.
Yes.
Yeah, we did 28 units there with Dave Mandel.
Dave Mandel, that's the one with the jet.
Yeah,
He's got that jet.
No, he took me in that jet in play.
Did he take you?
Took me
I've been in the other one.
No, he took me in that jet when he flies past the Beacon Isle. So anyway, he tells me what an experience that was.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in Plett with Gary Myers, my prop. I go there every December. It's beautiful. I got a 30 million rand holiday home for free.
Yeah, lovely.
We did, mate. So I go there. So Dave's flying back and forth. Yeah. So Gary says, "Why don't you go for a flight?" I said, "No, there's no way I'm going to get in." So I sent Dave a message. I said, "Looks good." He says, "No, come tomorrow morning." I said, "No, I'm not going. No, I'm not going." No. Anyway, they pushed and they pushed. I said, "This is bucket list stuff."
Yeah, it is. It is.
Anyway, when I got to the airport there, I mean, they prep you first, and Paula Mandel, Dave's wife, comes over and she starts prepping. She says, "Warren, I'm going to tell you one word."
Yeah.
and that's the last time you use it until you land again and give it and get out the plane.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, what is that? She says, eject.
No, you don't want to do that.
No, so because it's 2 seats, you know.
Yes. No, you got
it
the
was
thing
a
in the
Russian
middle.
MiG or something.
Yes,
I
no,
mean, it's
it
a
was-
prop. This
it's
thing
the Russian, it's the Czechoslovakian L-39.
sounding like
That's
that.
what it's
I mean,
called.
on that.
I went in one in Stu Davidson's got the same plane.
Yes, okay, 100%.
And so I went in the same plane.
Yeah.
So I know exactly where you are.
Yeah.
You've got that thing in between your legs. It's all over the place. This big red button there,
Yeah.
which you can't push.
You don't want to go near
You
it.
don't want to push that thing at all because it's going to eject you out of the plane.
Yeah.
And then you got the things in your ears, the cover
Yeah, well,
and
no, I
stuff.
had headphones on.
Yeah.
headphones,
Did he do
yeah.
Did he do?
Yeah, well, this is it. He flew straight for the Robbo
Yeah.
mountain, but he told me, he said, look, Warren, as you go up, the G-forces,
No,
so you've got to go, which
Oh.
is apparently assisted.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, okay, well, this is going to be great. I'm going to video this. I'm going to do a loop. You've got to watch the video. It just shows the ground.
Yeah, sure.
And you
Pause
just hear me
up.
going, because he just goes, and he goes straight up like into the circle. And then he goes past that beacon island about 350 k's an hour.
Yo.
It's something else.
No, it's unbelievable the speed.
No,
it's
it's
like
beautiful.
I describe it like being on a motorbike, but you're going 500 k's an hour.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I think
it's
they
so
can go
comfortable.
just below the sound barrier. I think that's where it gets to.
No, it's phenomenal.
And, Stu did what he said to me. I'm taking you up and I'm doing a what do you call it? A Cuban 8. Cuban 8.
Lovely.
It's a figure of 8. Okay. But he pushed that thing. I don't know what it was. It felt like 150 G's. I think it was 8 G's or 7 G's or something that he pulled.
I don't know that.
And I had a video on my face. I don't know if you had a video.
No, I didn't.
No, but I was like trying to push everything in my body to try to get rid of it. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it was great. Yeah.
And it wasn't an amazing experience though.
No, it was fantastic, I must say.
And did you throw up as well?
No.
Okay, afterwards I threw up.
Did you? Bad pilot.
No, it was just too much. I managed to hold it together while I was still with him. But I was driving home in my car and then I pulled over. That was it. My lunch came out.
No, I actually had a good run. It was enjoyable. Very
fantastic.
enjoyable, yeah.
Yeah, and then so quick.
Oh,
I loved
it
it.
was over within 10 minutes.
I know.
I blinked and I was in Nars. I blinked and I was back in play.
Crazy stuff. And you can understand how the fighter pilots as well can pass out and crash into the ground within
100%.
seconds. Yeah, half
Yeah,
a
well,
second.
that's always amazed me. Why does these kamikaze pilots wear a helmet? I mean,
I know. What's the point? Just to hear the control tower. Yeah. Oh, my word. Okay, so M squared going through now, doing residential, but that is your passion.
That's my
now.
passion. Yeah. My passion
That's
is
your passion
property.
now. But let's go back a little bit now. Let's rewind a little bit because your sporting accolades. I mean, that helps with the business as well, getting it going because of your connections.
Look, my soccer has been fantastic for my business.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, over the years with all the connections I've made, I've travelled the world, I've played in it. But yeah, look, I started my soccer career in Johannesburg. I was young. I moved to PE at about.
Were you born in Joburg?
Yeah, in Robertsham, in the south.
Okay.
Where the men are men and the women are also men.
Oh, I say.
Yeah, and then I came to PE at about 12, 13,
Yeah.
and then joined Westview Sports Club, where they've got a fantastic townhouse development now.
There you
Must be one of the best in PE.
It's lovely.
I started there, I played for Westview through my career, and that's where I met Garth. As you remember, I said I was 14, and I went to play in the Premier League with them.
Wow. So
And
you were in PE from quite a young age.
Yeah.
Your folks moved down.
My
here,
folks
obviously.
moved down, yeah.
What did
My
you
dad
do?
was with Standard Bank and he came down here. And then, funny enough, when we came those years, I'll never forget, came to fetch my dad from work with my mom, because I mean, there's one car in the family.
Yeah.
And he was in the warehousing game.
Really? Yeah.
Frightening, eh?
Yeah. Such a
And to this day, I work with that property. It belongs to the Parker family.
Okay.
It's down in Deal Party.
Wow.
And we're busy with the deal. One of my brokers, Kenny Fox, also an old hand in PE, he's also with me. He's busy doing a nice deal there. And that's
Kenny
with my
Fox
dad.
is a good name for a muser as well.
Well, I think Kenny's been around a little actually. So he must probably could play. But anyway, so after Westview, I mean, I played senior there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I went to Cali's, and then you
So this is from the age of 30. Where were you at school? Yeah.
at Cotswold, and
Cotswold,
then
Cotswold
Alex
Primary.
High, And then
Alex Boyd.
Yeah, and then when I finished with Kelly's, I made the Springbok side in the Currie Cup tournament.
Wow.
Which those days, I mean, I still to this day remember we were at the Rand Stadium, and how it worked in those days. All the amateur sides from around the country would come and play a tournament, which is known as the Currie Cup tournament. Went for years, and all the big names at Port Elizabeth, all the top players that have played here have come out of there. And I'll never forget, they were announcing the team, and I mean, those days, I mean, money wasn't all over the show, and as I say, I mean, my dad had 4 of us to bring up.
Yeah.
So we had one blazer.
Okay.
So we went to the tournament, one blazer, and when they called out the SO side,
Quickly.
I swapped with my brother because he was in the midfield, and when he didn't make it, now they go to the forwards. So I thought, give me your jacket in case I make it. Got his jacket, and I got him. That's when I made the Springbok side there. And then I made the South African indoor side, which quite frankly was a bit better as far as playing, because with the amateur side, you're known as a Springbok, but you're not playing international games. It's just a Currie Cup. So, you know, whereas the indoor, we played against Portugal, Hungary, that sort of thing. So I played internationals, which is a big difference. You know, and got a lot of experience from there. And then from there, I went to overseas. I went to play in Cyprus.
Oh, wow. Greece.
Yeah, well, it's not Greece. I mean, well, that's why I say Philip. Philip.
Yasu Philip.
Yeah, so I went over, played in Cyprus, and it was one of my highlights of my soccer career as well, because I went there and I played for a side, Pezoborogos. I mean, Epa, sorry, and we played against the side, Pezoborogos, and in the history of the island, Epa had never beaten Pezoborogos. So here comes this guy from South Africa, this thin guy, along he comes. And the first game we played, I'll never forget, we got to the stadium, and you know, in Cyprus they build their homes with flat roofs, concrete. So as the family gets bigger and they get more money, they build on top. So you got the stadium, which is packed, and then you got all the flats that you can see around, everybody's on top of their roofs, on their deck chairs. I mean, they love football. It's like the South Africans love their football. And they come along and they want to see what am I going to do. And I'll never forget, I scored 2 of my best goals ever.
Oh, really?
And we won 2-1.
Fantastic.
I mean, I was like God on the island. I mean, you go out into the restaurants and you call for your bill. No, supporters paid for
Warren Jack, come to Warren Jack.
No, they loved it. So, and I played there. Then when I came back to South Africa, that's when I started making my contacts for the business world. You know, I started playing for Kasadia, Leeds United, which had come from the first division into the Premier Division. In those days was the National Soccer League. I mean, that was the days of soccer. I'm not saying it's when I was there, but the names of those days, you're talking the Jomo Sonos, Lucas Radebe, Dr. Kamalas, Joel Fire, those were soccer players. I mean, they nicknamed Professor Mkabani. I mean, I didn't get that name for nothing, but he'd dance on the ball. And soccer's changed to this day. You know, I mean, sadly, I say I don't even watch it anymore because it's not so good. I mean, there's too much that takes place. The politics is unbelievable. We see it all over the world with our cricket, with everything. Everyone's got their opinion, but I've seen it from a soccer point of view. The sport's just been ruined.
Maybe the soccer is in there so thick, was in there so thick from before. Maybe it'll be the first to come out of it. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it'll take a long road. But I mean, the quality of players compared to those days to now, I mean, it's chalk and cheese. There's really good players. So, I played for Leeds United, and my debut, I scored 2 goals. Played against Hellenic, believe it or not. And I ended up playing for Hellenic. I played from Tartar Bushbucks.
Gee whiz.
And then Amazulu story is also one of my nice stories. I was playing for Leeds United. I mean, and I'll just go back a sec. You know, I was in the property game, as I said. I loved the property game. And I made the Springbok side, and then Stan Swart, the referee, was obviously refereeing one of the Premier games, and he saw this Leeds side, and they needed a striker, so he mentioned my name. Anyway, so I ended up going up to Durban to play, but I wasn't prepared to go live there because of my job. But I also wanted a taste of professional soccer.
Of course.
So I said, no problem. If I make it at the trials, I'll move up to Durban. Sadly, knowing that I'm not going. But I just might play 2 or 3 games, get a taste, and back I come. Anyway, I went up, and first 9 games, I scored 9 goals.
Jeez. I think you might be photos from Barbara.
So there was, and then for 8 years I flew up and down.
Yeah.
Every Friday I did a 12 flight in PE, fly to Durban, get my Hyatt card Hertz, go to Elangini Hotel room 7 to 8, which was booked for me every weekend.
Yeah.
Monday fly back to PE to work, train on my own, yeah, because obviously my team was based in Durban.
Okay. Jeez.
So I would
you
train-
train on your own.
I would train out. I mean, you remember the Humid Mansion days? Everybody would sit on the beach on the front there with all the dollies and the beers and loving it. I'd run from Walmer down there, have a lime and soda and run home. Because, you know, obviously a soccer career. So,
Okay,
yeah, so I had a good run with Leeds, and on my debut I scored 2, and then I turned down Kaiser Matom.
Yeah.
He asked me to come to play for Chiefs.
Kaiser Chiefs? Oh my
So
word.
he said he asked me to come there, but I wasn't.
Is that why it's called Kaiser Chiefs? Because of Kaiser Matong, is that right? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So Kaiser and he's called.
Gee,
He
was
obviously
okay.
put the Chiefs behind it.
Yeah.
But my first game for Amazulu was one of my highlights that I really love, and I keep telling one of my mates from the cave, Clive, he's in the oil. Charlie Minter is in the oil business.
Yes.
And he loved the story. He asked me about the soccer because not everybody's interested. So, and I enjoyed telling the story.
Yeah.
And I was playing for Leeds United, as I say, and I was doing tremendous. I was in the top 3 goal scorers for like 4
Where
seasons.
were they based here?
Durban.
Durban. Oh, so they're based
Yeah.
in Durban, okay.
So those
There's
days,
some photos there on WhatsApp, I think. That,
You see if you get them.
so those years it was Shane McGregor, myself, and Noel Cousins were the 3 top strikers in the country.
I remember those names too.
Yeah, and
Wow.
as I say, in the debut, I got 2 in the debut. Then I get to the airport and say, how many did Shane score? How many this one used to Shane? But anyway, so I got
Weren't competitive at all, clearly.
no, but at that time, then Amazulu
Yeah.
were like was probably the biggest as far as supporters go.
Okay.
So you know, you got a game and there's 60,000 people there. So
Holy crap.
so anyway, so Amazulu, those first 9 games I played for Leeds, I scored 9 goals.
Yeah.
So Amazulu needed a striker, but it was no those days. It was in the Mercury newspaper. Is
Yeah.
Jack moving to Amazulu? Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And I'll never forget. Long story short, I ended up at the game in Mlazi.
Yeah.
I mean, I walk in there and there's like 60,000 people. So the atmosphere is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And there's a fence around the field.
Yeah.
And the game gets underway. And within 2 minutes, those days used to, when the goalkeeper got the ball, everybody would move back up to the half line. The keeper would kick it.
Yeah.
Whereas today they roll it out to the fullbacks and play more
Okay,
ball, so
yeah.
to speak.
Keep the ball.
So we all went back, and now everybody, as I say, all over the newspaper, is Jack going to save Amazulu over?
Yeah.
2 minutes into the game, a goalie gets it, we all go back and he kicks it, but he kicked it badly. It bounced, hit me on the chest, on the ground, from the half line, I just hit it.
Yeah.
He went down, and you must remember the fields in those days, not like Old Trafford and when it's bumpy. He went down and hit a bump and shot him in the goal.
Oh my word.
I ran over and I jumped on the fence like that. The crowd went ballistic. That was one of my
My soul
favourite
says God.
moments. So the hairs on your arm stand up.
Just literally from the goal, it's you and
Yeah,
into the
so it
goal.
was a luck goal,
Yeah.
but they still loved me for it.
That's
It was-
okay, man.
It was awesome.
Because Jack was saving you. Oh,
Yeah.
we've got some comments coming on. Let's have a look at some of these comments. Caitlin Jack saying, best in the game, go Dad.
That's
you
my
know,
lovely
she's a
daughter.
bit biased. you
There's
know.
the Greek. There's
Yeah,
the
Philip.
everything.
Nimericato says, Warren, I used to race from J Bay to play for Kellys and watch you hit free kicks way over the crossbar into the neighbouring field. Yeah. Thanks for the great memories for playing for Kellys. Beatrice Lowe says,
Hey.
Mr. Jack, Knoppies challenge you to a pool game as
That's
well.
the cave. You see,
Yeah,
Moppis
no,
is also. I don't know.
Knoppies is here as well. It's Atari saying, Warren, wobble bottom Jack. Oh, really?
That's Atari, God's
Yes,
wife.
God's wife. Yeah,
She likes my beard.
She likes you. Clearly likes your bottom as well. Here we go. Watch out, God.
Gary Lavera went to school with him. He was with Carl and Claude van Keerspark. We were all mates. He was a good rugby player.
Oh, really?
No,
Okay.
that was a good rugby
So that's
player.
that's Alex, eh? Was that
Yes,
that
Alex,
No,
yeah.
Alex as well.
Yeah.
Tracy Pelt.
Yeah, that's my PA, my daughter's, my sister's daughter, and Finn, a youngster.
Oh,
lovely guy.
Janet Jack, there's more family there. Okay? You have a great team.
There's my captain of the team.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
Jakey, you're a true and amazing friend. That's it.
There we go. Carl Barrera.
Ah.
He's the best soccer player in the world. Warren! Ronald Minos says, Warren, your drink is getting cold, but have a sip.
No, I mean, look what they got to drink. There's no Richelieu and Coke here.
You know, there's
There's another one who's the best in the world.
Who's the best soccer? Warren!
It's Mariki from the cave as well.
Boxy rock, salt of the earth, you are, says Sue Fraser.
That's
You were
it.
just talking about the lime and soda. There's a lime and soda
Yeah,
there.
no, this rock shandy's
Yeah,
fantastic.
'cause
And
you
the
said you
ice is
ran-
gone. I'm talking too much.
You ran all the way down to Humid Mansions to get your lime and soda.
I've had enough of it.
Okay, we've got a surprise guest, little guest coming in here. Gavin Hunt is in. He's in the, he's in the
Hunty.
house. It's a
Hello,
Gavin.
son. What's your beauty?
Excellent, Gavin. Lovely to have you in the
You
studio.
checking all those? You know why he's bald? All those flick-ons, boy.
Flick-ons.
Oh, the flick-ons. The flick-ons. Is
Get
that
in there, son.
Devil's Peak? There we go. Cheers to you, Gavin.
Yes, boys. I can't
There's
drink
a-
those.
Gabby,
You're drinking all those poof drinks, all the girls drinks.
I have to. They made me.
We're doing it. Now, tell me, do you want to do a little introduction for Gavin?
Yeah, look, Gavin and I, we played in the army together. I mean, I don't know how many people know, but Gavin is the top coach in South African football as far as, I mean, I think he's got 5 titles, Gavin, am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 5 Premier League titles, which is
Sure,
fantastic.
Gavin.
I don't think anybody else has got that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he played in he nearly made the SA side. Where one of those Curry
Almost.
Cup tournaments I told you about.
Yes.
We went out one night.
I'll
And
tell you the
when this-
story. Don't let him tell you the story. Let him
Okay. You tell us the story. Tell us what happened there.
Hey, listen.
What-
So anyway, long story short, we get into the final of the Curry Cup. Western Province versus Defence in Cape Town. True story. So we said, let's go for a drink the night before the game. No, 1 or 2, just to calm the nerves down. Anyway, we go to a club called Prince of Wales. True story.
Prince of Wales.
Anyway, there's an oak there, he tunes me a bit of shit like, what? But the oak is 6 foot, but he's 7 foot wide. The oak is the oak is this big. Anyway, so
Blocks out the sun.
yeah, so I hit the oak, I have a fight. But the oak, when I hit him, he stared and looks at me. All these oaks, Shane McGregor, Warren Jack, all these oaks, they were gone.
Disappeared.
Anyway, I was in Groote Hospital 3 o'clock in the morning. We had to play the Curry Cup final the next day, and we lost. I couldn't move. Yeah.
Oh,
Unbelievable
no.
story.
Gavin, you really should be a conflict avoider. You can't have this stuff happening. It's part
Picked on the
part
wrong
of his-
oak group.
I see that. Always prepared to take a chance.
Then he was a fullback for a Lennox Football Club with the
Okay.
Budgie Byrne family, and that's where we played together for some time.
Okay, so you played with this oak as well then? Properly.
No, this oak used to come in on a Thursday. The oak he told me he trained. He talked shit. He never trained. He ran up and down the beachfront there at Newwood.
Looking for ladies.
Yeah, and then on a Thursday, he was coming down to Cape Town. We played Friday nights. And then we would have a mood of a party. And then Saturday morning, he would fly out again back to PE. And we saw him the next week again. A legend. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you what. My job was to cross the ball. That was my job. And Warren used to tell me, just put the ball in the box, I'll find it. And he used to find it. Yeah.
That's it. Because he's so bloody tall.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Nice. I used to tell him, listen, boss, be in the box. Stevie Wonder will score when I cross. You know what I mean?
he's seen us punching himself again.
You know, pumping it up.
Now I'm talking shit.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, Gavin, you've done a lot of coaching then as well, eh?
Yeah, listen, it was an absolute pleasure playing with a guy like Warren. The times we had, unbelievable. I would think more off the field than on the field. I mean, it was an absolute. He's the second most famous person in Port Elizabeth. The second most famous.
Oh, yeah? Who's the most famous?
The first was Queen Elizabeth, and he's the second most famous.
The mayor. Every time I'm fighting
The mayor. No, he's the mayor. He's the mayor of PE, this boy.
There's quite a few mayors around here. I'll tell you what.
No. He's the mayor. He's the mayor of PE.
Okay. Because Garth Webster clearly is obviously one of those acts as well.
Yeah.
And we were talking about getting into fights and things. And I know Clinton White is one of the. I don't know if.
Yeah, I think Gavin did meet Clinton, but Gavin is much younger than us.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so he was. Yeah, I don't think Gavin knows him. Yeah.
All right. I was just wondering.
Clinton
younger.
White. Yeah, Clinton White.
I know Clint White. I know Clint White. No, I know Clint
Yes.
White.
Yeah, but he's younger than us.
No,
Clint
Clint's
and I
also-
could pick a fight in a phone booth.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He's a player that's got the most red cards in my whole career. That
Yeah,
I see.
Clinton.
We say, Clinton, please calm down. Because he's very good. Very, very good. We say, Clinton, please
Super-
calm down. 10 minutes later.
Hey, red
He's
card.
like that Balotelli guy.
Yeah.
Always
No,
red
look,
card.
there's obviously it's a case of if you that kind of personality, it gets you a long way, but it also plays against you a bit.
No, for sure.
Clint will be the first guy to admit that, I'm sure.
yeah.
But what a player as well.
Yeah, very good, very good player.
PE's come up with some good players.
Yeah, we've produced some very good players. Very good. I'd say the best ever that's come out of Pisa. Guy by the name of Shaunton Clark.
Okay, Shaunton.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
passed on.
passed on now. But what a soccer player.
Really?
No, he was fantastic.
Sure.
Fantastic. In fact, I played overseas with him. We were flatmates when
Okay.
played in Cyprus. He was there ready when I got there. He was
Wow.
there.
And Gavin, any other guys from PE that you know that have done good things with you?
Well, obviously, I mean,
What about that SAB rep?
Oh dear.
Yeah, no. He's a shocker, murder. He's like, Ray Charles. You know, he's got the white stick with a guide dog. Nah, murder. That's Stan Swartz. Murder. That's Stan Swartz.
There we go, Stan. He's talking about Stan Swan.
Stan Swartz.
He's got a white stick.
All right.
When he came to the games, he used to have the Labrador. You know the Labrador, the guide dog. with the white stick.
The refs.
Yeah.
The referees. Oh, classic.
I see Stan a lot. He's a great guy, and we've always had a good relationship. But you don't get that in these days. The banter and all that. in football
But he's
anymore.
done a lot for the game, Gavin.
He's been
He's
brilliant
done a lot for the game, and he's raised the flag for the Eastern Cape.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
also my good friend Philip Metakatis, the
Yes.
goalkeeper. Philip. When I came into the professional game, obviously Philip took me under his wing, and he was there for me. And Philip's going through a hard time at the moment, but
Yes.
he's a guy that I've got great respect for. And
He's
somebody
online. He's online watching us right now.
He's my man. He's a great
He's
guy.
been chirping us already. He's still full of cuck. He's chirping us.
Listen, all goalkeepers they're all Harry Dilly. They're all, you know what I mean? Anyway.
And now tell me, Gavin, is there anything that people don't know about Warren that you have some inside information?
Yeah, I wouldn't listen. There was a club called the Coronel Hotel in Joburg in Hillbrow, but I won't tell you about those stories.
No,
Those
I'd
were
rather
days.
take his phone number, Gavin.
Yeah,
A colonel. Was jy daar
Colonel,
daar by die
Ons was
kolonel?
daar. Ons was daar.
listen. When you used to put your hand in front of you, it was so dark you couldn't see what was going on there.
Dad, remember the Malawi trip where I played rugby in Malawi?
Yes, unbelievable. Listen. We go to Malawi, and we used to play Champions League those days.
Okay, yes. Champions League.
Nowadays you go 2 days before the game. We used to go the week. But the Lennox was the worst team in the world to go. We drinking Monday to Friday.
Remember that hotel they put us in, Gavin?
No, there was
That
cockroaches.
hotel.
What's the cockroaches were this big?
What a
And
beautiful
so
time.
you go up to Malawi, and then what happened there?
No, we
I
won.
had to
I mean,
fly
they were
back
hopeless.
earlier.
The team, we beat them 5-0. They were hopeless. I mean, we could have played
Okay.
blindfolded. Anyway.
Yeah, but Gav, remember I'm telling you, I had to get back from work because I postponed it from the hotel that they put us in that rubbish hotel. We moved. So I had to fly back early. So I played rugby for that club, remember?
Yes.
With the same colours as that.
I believe they had same colours as this.
I played rugby, bro. I said, what are you doing? Budgie's going there. Unbelievable.
Yeah, okay. I mean, those days as well, I was just saying with the amateur game as well, the Oaks, it's not the same as it is today. Today, the sports guys get treated really well generally, if they're playing at a certain level. But in those days, the refs got moored on the field, the players got, they get locked in the change room because the crowd's going bedorned outside.
Yeah, it was,
Crazy stuff.
In those days, the opposition used to book your hotel for you. So when they came to South Africa, we booked the hotel when we went there. And they think it was a 5-star, but boss, the cockroaches and
no, it was frightening.
the chicken legs. The chicken legs were this big. They were big chicken legs like this. They were swimming in oil, like, you know what I mean?
It was the first time I had chicken knuckle soup.
And let me tell you, and the match balls. You know when you go to Macro and you buy those balls in the they were balls from Macro. You kick it and it goes all over the show.
The weight is not right.
Yeah,
That's
no.
true.
Yeah.
And I suppose they put you in those hotels on purpose if you were going to there.
Yeah.
Because they bought it.
Yeah. And they put you on the 5th floor and the lift doesn't work, you know, so you got to walk up and down.
Yeah. Oh, man. Thank you, Gavin. Lekker.
Nice seeing you, Gav.
Thank you for popping in. I appreciate
Where's
your
cannon?
time.
Are you still eating that
What did
cannon,
you
boy?
shoot today? What did you shoot today?
Nah, 78. Not good, boy. Not good.
78.
78. Pick up your game, please.
Yes.
Nah,
sir. Really.
struggling, boss. You know?
If
I've
I
got
break
the
100
Vespa
golf,
Drakes.
I'm happy.
I got the Vespa Drakes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, lekker. Thank you.
Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you to Gavin. He's got to get better. But Gavin, he sounds like a real character.
No, he's but look, he has been at golf all day in Cape Town. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So he's had a couple of... See
Yeah,
the
well,
devil's
it's-
beak.
It's still in his hand, yeah.
I checked the devil's beak in his hand. There you are going. Sue Fraser saying, Wogsy, you rock salt of the earth. Sue Fraser. And Mark Else.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, Mark.
Peter Crowder, another cave guy.
Okay, it's cave, eh?
Yeah, no, it's
a
unbelievable.
job.
Oh, Alan Fry, remember Alan?
Yes.
Alan ran the Nosh, and the Nosh restaurant
Nosh,
there
that's
for many
right,
years.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Now I think he was in Addo. He's running Addo now.
Okay.
He's in Port Alfred, I think.
Oh, is that weird? Tell us where you are now, Alan. Give it a bit of a punter. Denise Brown.
That's
saying-
God's sister again. This is
Okay.
God's sister.
Go Chelsea.
Sister,
Chelsea
Barbara
supporters.
Manor. Yeah, Barbara.
Barbara Manor.
There's an absolute beaut.
Is
I mean, what she does
fantastic.
for the soccer fraternity now, because you know when you finish, everybody waltzes away.
Yeah.
She keeps us all together.
Yeah.
She
Keeps us
she
reunions
keeps
happening.
all the time, and she's watched
She's
up
so
in the-
connected. This
No,
lady,
she
I
is.
say
eh,
every
she
week,
is.
but she's so
Yeah.
connected. That's true.
Very nice lady. Yeah.
And Beatrice Lowe saying there 4 years ago, Mr. Jack made our day. I'm not sure what he's referring to there. 4 years ago.
Yeah, no, that was at the cave, and I walked into the cave, and came there. I didn't know him from a bar of soap, and he
Yeah.
sat down with his wife. He came there to get married, so he had his guests and his wife and himself, and they sat down. I didn't know them. I was standing outside, and I looked over and I saw he was happy, and the guys, it's his day, so I didn't know him. I just said to the barman, just put the tab on me for them for their wedding.
Oh,
So
magic.
he has never forgotten it. Yeah.
Beatrice, what a
Praise.
legend.
Yeah. There he is. His name's Loki. You must see this guy make a fire.
Do you do this often, though?
Yeah. I go every evening. I go for 1 or 2 drinks at the cove to just wind down and then get home by 6, 6:15.
Lekker.
You know, and there's people like that. I mean, he makes a fire with 42 bags of wood. I mean, you've got to see it. He loves fire. I mean, but there's a fireplace at the cave that. Can I take this off, by the way?
Yeah, you can take it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
that's fine.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
There's a big fireplace, and about 2-3 meters long now with a huge.
Yeah.
He just packs the wood in there. And he loves a fire.
Well, this is a place we need to.
No,
we
it's
need
a
have
place to
look at
be.
it.
It's a place
I
to
tell
be.
you what.
Yeah.
And I see a couple of guests here as well. Before we finish off with the comments, I see Mark Turner there.
Yeah, Mark was
on
at
there
school
saying-
with me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so Mark's
yeah.
watching from Cape Town.
Yeah,
Keep the
yeah.
stories clean. It doesn't have to be clean here. All right, while the stories we're talking about stories. We got Garth Webster is gonna do a pop on. Hopefully his internet is okay.
Yeah.
Let's check if Garth is there. Garth, are you with us, Garth?
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Excellent. Look at you. That picture looks fantastic. It's the chandelier, the dog, the family, all watching the TV with you. Fantastic.
Good.
We're loving it.
Everyone watching. Everyone's
Yes, I
watching.
see that.
Absolutely. And you can spot me as well.
Yes, I can spot you. I spot you as well. Yes, absolutely. Tell us, Garth, you've known this chap for quite a while. Have you got any stories about this lad?
Yes, I've got lots of stories about Warren, but you know, this is a child-friendly program, and my daughter's
Yes.
sitting in the room with me, so we're going to keep it tidy.
Yes.
You know, and Warren's been speaking about his property acumen, and Warren's got the best property acumen I've ever known of anybody. I mean, he just knows everything about property. But the one thing about Warren is he's probably one of the most talented sportsmen I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, as we said, as you guys were talking just now, when he was 14, he went and played in the senior side because he was too good for the under 14s.
Yes.
But he also, whatever sport ball, whatever he picked up, Warren was just a natural at. And
Yeah.
I remember when Warren was about standard 9, because I don't think he got to matric. So standard 9.
7, God.
7.
My lucky number, I told
No,
you.
it was.
Yeah. So, no, that's why I did it 3 times. That standard 0.
Yes.
And we used to play a Sunday league I was playing for Warmer Country Club cricket side.
Yes.
And the Sunday league, the morning of the game, we won short.
All right.
So I said, well, I know someone that will play. So I phoned Warren and from on his house phone, landlines in those days, and he got dropped off, and Warren came and debuted for us at Warmer Country Club, at Warmer Cricket Club in the Premier League side at a young age. And then he went on to the army. And Warren, tell us what happened with the rest of your cricket career.
No, well, look, my cricket career wasn't that bad. I mean, you can ask Mike van Vieren.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Fires.
Fires, I mean,
Yes.
look, Garth and them, was at that time when I played, he was playing in Joburg with the Clive Rices of the
Oh,
world.
yes,
man.
yes. Yeah.
No, I only ended up playing with Mark van Vieren,
Yes,
Dave
yeah.
Richardson, Grant
Well, that's
Blanc.
not too bad down
Dave
here.
Callahan, we had,
Yeah,
only-
Kellis.
and
Okay.
I was an opening bowler,
All right.
and I was a very good fielder.
Yes.
And I mean, Fires will tell you a story as well. One day was Sylvester Clark, one day was playing.
Oof, that's a quick bowler. That's
Yeah, and Fires came to me when I was bowling, and I said, I can't get this guy out. And Fires, he said to me, bowl him at the throat. I'll never forget it. But anyway, I said, well, the cricket, yeah, the Fires, don't worry about the wickets, bowl him at the throat. Because that's what Sylvester Clark would say now, because you walk up with his accent, he said, bowl him at the throat. You bowl him at the throat. So Fires picked us up. Every time I bowl, he said, bowl him at the throat. Yeah, but anyway, so I played cricket, as I say, and this was for the Defence Force side. So I mean, as I say, Dave Richardson, we had a very good side.
Yeah.
And my career stopped for 2 reasons. I mean, one, I was batting at St George's main field, and Dave Brickett was bowling.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Dave? He was
I
quick,
remember
very
Dave,
quick.
Yes.
But my main sport was soccer, and everybody knew that. So, and in being a quick bowler, you automatically went to bat number 11.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's it. You know?
The bowlers.
Yeah, I always say, no, you bat number 11. But I'll never forget, I batted 7 or something that day, and Dave Brickett came and he's hurling them down. I don't know what was going on, but anyway,
Yeah.
I went forward and I sneaked one, and it was loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody goes up, but the umpire didn't put his finger up. So I hang around. Anyway, Dave Brickett ran down the pitch, telling me about soccer and what I am and blah, blah, blah. So I retaliated. Took the bat and I tried to whack him.
Oh,
Anyway.
you know these soccer players.
So I got banned.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Okay, I got banned.
Right,
But then I came
exactly.
back and I was playing. And then my captain at the time, I mean, as I say, I was a sportsman and I loved the ball. I just wanted to be involved at the time. So put me in the covers when I'm finished bowling because I'm going to stop. Nothing's going past me.
Yeah.
But my captain steered me in the wrong direction. And he put me at fine leg. So I'm not going to tell you his first name, but you got it. He steered me in the wrong direction.
Right, okay.
And put me at fine leg after numerous occasions. I don't want to go field down there because the reality for a fine leg
What's
is
what
like
to be
a
the
quick,
action?
a quick bowler would go rest there because he's going to bowl the
Yes,
next
gonna
over.
bowl the
But he
next
stepped
over.
me there. Anyway, eventually I got so cross, I just stepped over the line, got in my Colt Galant those days, and I left.
Colt Galant.
Never to play cricket again.
Really
No, I
left
was
the
going
field.
for a laugh. I said, we'll keep it then. So I went into something else.
You know, these Oaks have got quite a temper. You know,
Right.
these soccer players.
No,
Yeah, no, it's-
absolutely. You had to calm himself down a little bit. Yeah, so that's what happened to Woggs' cricket career. He could have been
Oh,
a
dear.
very good cricketer. But I mean, soccer was his love and what have you.
Yes.
But he told you about that story in Malawi where he played a bit of rugby. But he
Yes.
also got picked for the Alex rugby side. He was wandering
right.
around the Alex field one day.
Yeah.
And he found a rugby ball there, and he started kicking the ball over the poles from the halfway line.
Right. Okay.
As a youngster.
Gosh, ask him to tell you that story. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. What is, you know?
Where at Alex school, you'd have to cross the rugby field to get to the cricket nets.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had my cricket boots in my hand and I was walking across, and all of them were warming up, throwing the ball around and kicking for poles from the 25.
All right.
So the one guy kicked for the poles from the 25, got it over, and the guy behind the poles kicked it back and he missed, and it bounced to the halfway line where I was.
Okay.
So I just took the ball and I just put my foot and put it in the ground and stuck it in the ground from the halfway line over the post. The coach said, "Hey, you come here."
Come, you're in.
So that's what made me play rugby.
Yeah.
That's where Gary Levat and Carl Bellman stayed. And I think I stopped rugby because those years, and I can't remember the story 100%, but Carl Bellman was an excellent eighth man, if I remember those days.
Okay.
And you know Carl's size, he was, and as I say, top sportsman. He was fantastic at rugby at school level. He was, people come to watch him and Gary Levat.
Okay.
And Carl was in a scrum and something happened to his neck and he couldn't walk.
You.
And he was my very good mate. As I say, we walked home every day from school. We lived around the corner.
Yeah.
And seeing Carl in that state, I thought to myself, hold on a sec.
Yeah.
No matter how much I love the sport, I can't do it.
Yeah.
That's why I always vowed, if I had a son, I'd never let him play rugby. No way.
I know,
To me, it's too brutal.
Did you play a bit of rugby as well, Garth?
Do we look like rugby players?
I did play rugby until under 15. And I told you last week I dislocated the vertebrae in my neck.
I remember that too.
I was a hooker.
Yes.
It's slow.
No. In those polka dots, you're not going to get much business, buddy. Okay.
But anyway, you know, and then Warren is a good runner. And every, they used to have the street mile in Port Elizabeth, past the Edward Mansions.
Yes, Alec Riddle and those guys.
No, he's reminding me of those days.
Yeah. Remember that story when you run against the Springbok fullback?
Yeah, what was his name? Hubert, was it?
Andre Hubert, yeah.
Andre Hubert, and he was known for his speed.
Oh.
And you had the Johan I think it was, the Springbok cyclist, Gary Hutton, the bodybuilder, all the sportsmen.
Johan Fourie used to run that thing as well.
Yeah, 100%, but they had the celebrity mark of Springboks.
Okay,
obviously not the proper athletics. Alec Riddle and those guys would do the main race, and Mike Bosch and those boys.
Yes.
So they get us there. And I've never done this type of running before, except at school. It's many years later. I didn't have running shoes, so I said, "Mike, give me your shoes, man." Mike came and paid it. Tackies, I put it on. And everybody's expecting this guy to win.
Andre,
And I remember I used to gamble in the horse racing quite a bit.
With the GGs.
Yes, with Gavin Fenton.
Did he have a problem with it, Garth? That's what we want to know, actually.
No, we loved horses. He had horses. I had a horse as well. His name was Flight Force. Reva Steenekam's father looked after my horse. So I knew Reva and for shame. And anyway, so the horse, that was just great. That horse racing feeling, as I heard Garth last week, when a horse of yours wins a race, I mean, the feeling is magnificent. The rush is so awesome. So what did you want me? Which story did you want me, Garth?
You're running this race against.
The race.
Yes.
Yeah. So as I said, I was in the gambling game. Yes. So I thought, now how do I run this race? Because you all just start in a bunch.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, hold on a second. They're running like a jockey. Runs a race.
Yes,
So I sat behind them all. I'll never forget. I got to the Old Mutual, that block of flats. What's it called now?
Mutualoff there.
And I thought, okay, time to pull the whip. And I think I won that race by about 4 or 5 meters.
Wow.
Yeah, and Andre came second.
Excellent. So it shows you gambling is sometimes good.
No, but I'm not a gambler.
That tells you how to run a race.
Yeah, exactly. He told you there's something good will come out of it, God.
Oh, magic. I love that. Any other stories you got about... Oh, what is that?
That's a photo.
Hold it closer.
My horse.
No, that's Secret Brother. The horse Secret Brother.
Is your horse?
No, that was his horse.
Oh, that's your horse. Oh, yes.
And then,
did your horses ever race against each other?
No, mine had 4 legs.
The other thing was, speaking about his soccer career, He joined Sunday League side Thurs as a youngster. He's about 15 or 16 years old, Warren. And this side was
that
run
was a
by
good-
Ricky Manor. And we played, and it's a tough game. So I turned around to Ricky Manor, who's captain, manager, and everything. I said, Ricky, we've got to get Warren on now. He says, but who do I pull off? I said, no, you take yourself off now.
You know who they took off? Him.
Nice. Well, you should. You know, you knew you were taking a chance there already.
Yeah, but we also had good fun at the World. I was an ambassador for the World Cup.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, which was also fantastic.
210,
experience.
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
okay.
I took Garth to all the games. We had great fun. But I also went to the World Cup in Berlin, Germany.
Wow.
When Italy played France.
Yes.
And Zinedine Zidane
Yes.
headbutted Materazzi.
Materazzi.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
I watched it. I literally watched it.
Oh, that is so hectic.
And that's why, I mean, to this day, I still say to myself, there's no VAR like there is today there.
Yeah.
And what happened, I was just looking in that direction as a matter of interest because the game was pretty boring.
Yeah.
And I, where's my man, Zinedine Zidane? And I looked where he was, and as I looked at him, I just saw him big butt. But he hit the guy on his chest, which he fell down. So obviously the ref sees the guy on the ground, came across, but didn't see the incident. He runs over to the linesman, comes back, runs to the other linesman. Nobody knows what's going on.
Wow.
So the game was a delay because clearly something happened.
Yes.
So after about literally 10 minutes, the ref had been on the side, came back on the field and showed him a red card. So I say they must have gone and replayed the television to see what had happened.
I'm sure.
Which, quite frankly, I would have thought would have been unfair because, I mean, if the ref doesn't see it, he doesn't see it.
That's the way things are.
Well,
Right. The 2010 World Cup where we did Port Elizabeth. We even went up to the final in Johannesburg in 2010, Warren and myself. But that's another story. Warren can maybe tell you about that one later. But also one of Warren's big talents as well is auctioneering.
Oh, yes?
And he can
Oh,
tell
really?
you, he can tell you a few stories about his auctioneering as
yeah,
well.
no, that was great. That was in the property industry, I mean, there's Dave Honeyball is a very good friend of mine and he's a top accountant. He was Echo Foundation's accountant.
Okay.
Anyway, they had a property to sell, which was Park Towers.
Oh, yeah, Room Park Towers, yeah.
And so Dave called me in, I did my presentation, and they gave me a mandate. And in those days, I remember they wanted 3.75 million for that building.
Yeah.
And at an auction, you get more commission, you get 10%.
Wow.
Whereas a normal sale, you get 5%. So this was a normal sale. So I went along and I got them the offer. And I went to Park Towers to present it to the board. We sat around at the board and the chairman, I'll never forget, because now I'm a young broker and I'm saying, what's going on here? I'm getting 75,000 Rand commission.
Yeah. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of
So I said, I'm not losing this money.
Yeah.
Because he starts talking, he says, you know, there's a block of flats up there with Continental is in Newton Park. At that time, there was 4 units. It was on the auction and the upset price.
Continental,
yes,
Third Avenue.
Yes.
Okay.
And the upset price was 950 grand for the 4 units at an auction.
Okay.
And it went for 2.1 million. So the chairman had heard this. So when I came with the offer, he turned around and he said, maybe we should auction this, which is understandable from him because he's just seen something happen like this.
Yeah.
So now straight away I'm sitting and I think, well, there goes my 75 grand
Yeah.
out the window.
Yeah. But
Which I wasn't happy about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm sitting there, so he says, Warren, can you auction? Are you an auctioneer, sorry?
Yeah.
So I sat with him and I said, yeah, of course I'm an auctioneer.
Yeah, of course.
I've never done anything in my life as close to auctioneering.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, we went to the auction and I sold it for 11 million on auction.
Whoa! Can you believe it?
How's that? From
And then you got
3.75, what the
10% of
value
that.
was. But there was 2 guys that fought it, and that's what the beauty of the auction was in those days. I want to beat you.
Yeah,
I want to be
of
a
course.
manier.
Yeah.
And the one's a local, which I'm not going to mention. The other was the guy that did King's Court.
Yeah, okay.
His name is Paul King. He's the guy that committed suicide years later.
Okay.
But he was bidding against one of the P locals, big player as well, back and forth, back and
Oh,
forth.
my soul.
So
11 million. That's
yeah, I
from
remember
3 points.
now my 5% became 10% as
Yes.
well.
I know, magic.
So-
$1 million rand.
Yeah, that's I love auction. Then Garth and I do a lot of charity auctions,
Yeah.
which we go in our system because Garth and I talk together. If I get stuck, he jumps in.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
you're doing the
he gets
auction
me a-
thing as well.
He gets me a breather.
I see his internet died. I think Garth's internet died there.
Always had enough.
But it's fine. He must be watching on the YouTube. But thank you, Garth. You're a legend.
Thank you, Garth.
Oh man, and I always saw his signs outside his Webster's flooring. It's
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. That guy.
And so I mean, Alex, did you study after school?
I went to UP for a 6-month course with Professor Henk Delport on commercial property.
Oh, okay.
Because I liked it so much, and I went there.
Yeah. So you joined Philip Bowman like really early then, eh?
Yeah, as I came back from overseas football.
Okay.
Because I was involved with his daughter. We went to school together. It was my girlfriend at that time, and he had the company. So I came back and I didn't have anything to do, so I did maintenance on the property. I had a little team I put together.
Oh, weird.
I remember I've now come back from overseas with dollars.
Yes.
So I wasn't too keen to work, so to speak.
Yeah.
But because I'm
So you
running
land
a-
with your bum in the butter pretty much with the sport,
Yeah, well, but that's what helped me.
So,
got
so
me
you
places.
came,
and
you
I
came
mean,
back.
Yeah.
And you're obviously good with your money then. You're not a big spender. Are you?
No,
You like to spend or you like to save?
I like to save and spend, but not waste.
Yeah.
I just want my family to be sorted when I go one day.
What's your theory? Like, do you keep money in do you?
I'm a firm believer the best place to put money is in brick and mortar, in the property. Yeah. So I've got a little portfolio that is my portfolio, and then obviously investments all over the show. But I get advised by good people. Like I've got Fintechs who in Whitfield, who went to school with me.
Okay.
So we've got a personal relationship as well. He assists me, and we've got Liberty Life lady that assists us. Okay. So, and I get advice from.
But are you okay to take a bit of a risk here and there?
No, I don't
not.
like
You
risks.
don't like risks.
No, I get calls all the time. Do this like your Bitcoin. And if I can't see my money, I mean, sorry. I mean, everybody keeps telling me I can't do that.
No, Bitcoin.
So
I'm also not. Yeah.
No, I mean, brick and mortar to me is king.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, and as I say, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I want it for my family one day when I go. So, and as you know, property's long term.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So,
I mean, look at where the properties have gone. Also gone down. I mean, if you look at some of the central properties in the 90s, those.
Oh, hundreds. I mean, my dad, I remember those days, bought a house in Newton Park for 21,000 rand.
Yeah.
And I've kept it. I bought it from him, and I've then spent, I think, 12 or 13 years with my business there. We still got it to this day. And the values in Newton Park have gone up. So, and then we've got a warehousing, and so and it's a residential. We've got the developments we're doing now.
Yeah.
So I don't get and then go drive a fancy car.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't go and get through West Bank. Oh, if I got to pay.
Yeah. Cash. Do you do the cash story?
I can't go to bed and knowing I go, West Bank, 20 grand, and this one and that one. So
you're clearly not a big debt.
No, I don't
guy.
like it. I hate it.
I'm with you there.
Because I'm a
also.
very stressful person who comes up, and that's why I got no hair. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I was young, I had a mop on my head, and I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then
always
doing
everyone
this
talks
property
about-
game, already my top agents are already going, look here, Warren, pulling the chain. So I told you so.
It's a stress,
Yeah.
But I mean, because a lot of guys said, you can gear your property and you can think.
Yeah, look, as it goes along, that's another, but I mean, obviously when you get to a certain stage, you're going to say, well, the money's just pouring in, you've got to buy another one, otherwise pay tax. So, I mean,
Yes, okay.
but there's lots of different ways, and everybody's got their own versions and own returns, what they look at, and but I play it safe.
Okay.
I play it safe.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, I know something now. Yesterday, I got a piece of land, a small little piece, 3.5 million.
Yeah.
I know if you buy it now, I'll tell you in 2 years' time you'll double your money. I'll literally guarantee it.
Okay.
But so I'm telling you, but I won't get it because I'm saying, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You know, anything
3
can
million,
happen.
hang on.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's it. And because I've seen our land values grow.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, when I started the Moffat, the people were telling me the land there is worth 250 rand. I ended up selling it 2,000 a square.
Wow.
Supply and demand, you see. I mean, the Moffat's, I mean, it's the busiest road in PE.
So where would you say there's expansion at the moment? Where would you say would be a good place to buy a property at this stage?
Residential or what you look at?
Either.
Residential, look, I would say the Lorraine areas and it's all popping up, but once again, it's the only direction we can grow is in the West Larynx. Everything else is for look. I mean, and that's for the last price that people entering the market with ranges from 950 to 1.2 million. That market flies. I mean, we just got a development now with 48 units. That'll in my view, it'll go fairly fast. But you see, with the interest rate that had dropped, everybody was excited. But you know, what the banks don't tell the guys and what people don't think, interest rate 7%, let's go buy. That interest rate's not going to hang around for your 20 years, what the bond is. You know, so what happens is most people dive in, interest rate goes to 11, 12, now all of a sudden they can't afford it anymore. Because you know, PE salaries, our economy inflation beats us young. It doesn't. PE salaries are small.
Inflation does.
If you think about it, so you know, all of a sudden you're all excited. I'm paying $7,000 on $1 million for argument's sake, and 2 months later you got to pay 11. I mean, some people $1,000 or whatever. I mean, it's market. The economy is tight, especially with COVID afterwards.
If they're doing it on the edge, God's saying, sorry, you got cut off. Brady, parting shot just asked Warren, who's the funniest guy in the world? Who's the funniest guy in the world?
Yeah, we always tease each other. He says he is.
I see.
God, you can have it.
Tonight
then my sister says, you're God. Deirdre, I don't have to come to the office tomorrow.
I got your back. I got your back there, I see. Chili, is it the chili pat? What
chili, I don't know. What.
Is it chili pat? What you drinking, Mr. Jack? I don't know who that chili pat
chili
is.
Pat. I don't know.
Could be Patricia, someone? Don't know.
He played soccer.
Oh, maybe. What's up with the cricket chats?
I don't know. Who the chili... Where is it?
I don't know who the chili pat is.
I don't know.
Own up. Reveal yourself, chili pat. Classic. And so, okay, so, I mean... history-wise, we've got your school, and you did. I mean, literally got into that property straight away. So that you're a perfect example of somebody who got into working and got an experience is everything.
That's it. You know, you can teach as much but time is always in anything really. But as you said, our game especially. I mean, it's. Drive around every single day. Now, how much can you drive around in PE?
It's true.
You know, you got your deal parties, your North Ends, your Sidwells, those type of areas. It's not too much. I drive around, and I've got a very good eye. If I see something once, it's there. So I can go back to the office, and someone can say, "Where's Feddo Break?" I can tell you exactly where it is, what the size of the building is, what the landlord wants. I know all of my stock over the years. Especially my big landlords. I know every single property of theirs.
Really, okay.
I mean, some of them are over $1 billion portfolio.
Philip is bringing some ice.
Thank you, Philip.
There we go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just top up because we're getting into the last stretch here now. I think we've got we've got one more guest. Just going to stick some in here.
We've got another.
We've got one more guest still coming.
So look, Gino, I mean, I've met a lot of people in my soccer career. I mean, I've personally, like you and I've spoken to David Beckett, Paul Scholes, Michelle Platini.
Who do you support for the English?
Do you want them to cut off? Man United.
Really?
Yeah. Look, I'm very good friends with Gary Bailey as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you know, he played there.
Tell me about the Gary Bailey story because where was he from originally? He was Joburg originally. My friend says Gavin, Manchester City.
Yeah, there's fires now. He's on.
He's on now. So now there's going to be chirping coming this way as well.
He must have just got home. those people I met were great. I mean, as I said, for my career, meeting different people is always so nice. I mean, I don't know if you know, Michel Platini is one of the best the world's seen. He's a French player. He was fantastic.
Okay.
I met him and Beckham, as I say.
Gee, with Beckham as well. Did you? How did you get to spend time with those guys? Did you play at the time?
No, not playing wise. Socially after games, because he'd been in the stadium and I could go anywhere.
Oh yeah, the VIP. So he could have ended up with Posh.
Yeah.
You never know.
But then, as I say, the South African legends in their own right, the Dr. Kamalas of the world.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask you, because I saw when Barbara sent me these photos of WhatsApp of you, then when you were talking about buying, Amazulu buying you from Leeds, 50,000 rand at the time, I believe, was a deal there. But did that ever go through?
No, it wasn't that amount of money.
Okay,
It was-
was
I mean, to give you an idea, the first offer, and I'm talking in my second year, I think, for Leeds, because as I say, I was pumping.
Okay.
Patrice Masepe,
Yeah.
who we all know, who I've also met. Now. I mean, he's one of the richest men in the world through my soccer career.
Yes.
He offered Errol Hughes, who's a PE guy now,
Yeah.
R1 million for me those days, which is about 30 years ago.
But no,
To
how
go
does
to
this-
Mamelodi
just-
Sundowns.
Just for people like me who don't understand how this bloody things work, because I see like overseas players getting sold for £100 million.
Yeah, look, I know what you're going to ask me.
Where does that come from? And where does that money go to? Who gets
Well,
that
look,
money?
you got an agent.
Okay.
Which the agent will get a percentage and the player will get a percentage. But then the player also negotiates his salary
Okay.
with the club through his agent.
Yes.
And he gets a signing on fee.
Okay.
So that's how it used to work in my day. I don't know what it is today. I would presume it to be the same because the agents, it's rather call them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Rob Moore, I played with Lenny and with Gavin.
Yeah.
He had Benny McCarthy
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
because we all played together. I mean, I played with Benny.
Okay.
Okay, so now Benny, I mean, you all know he played the champion for Porto and they won the Champions League.
Yes,
Excuse me,
yes.
the whole world on him.
Yeah.
So, Rob Moore would say to me, every time I move, it's like I get $1 million. Excuse me.
Yeah.
No, I mean, at a house at Fan Court.
So that money,
No, there's big money for the
lion's share of that
agents.
money goes to the player. Then.
Yes, yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That is.
But
Phenomenal.
remember, there's the club also gets, the agent
Okay.
gets, and the player
Well,
gets.
it's good. So they
Yeah,
all-
so
they
all-
do
maybe you want to
bits
call it
and
3
pieces.
different negotiations.
Okay.
Not like he has $1 million split it amongst
Yeah.
yourself.
Okay.
And then obviously you're a free agent, which is far better
Oh, really?
because you're making more money.
So you sell yourself to.
Yeah, so like
You
if
know.
you've got a 3-year contract with Man United and after a year they don't like you,
Yeah.
they want some of their boodle back. But if your 3 years is up,
Oh, I see.
you're a free agent, you can go. So now
Okay,
your
so-
agent can really make you money.
Okay, so that's why it's possibly more when it actually when they you're still under contract because they have to pay out
Yes,
the other
so
guys.
free agents like you got to.
Oh, my
you got to
soul. Okay, stick your headphones on. We got somebody else coming in here, and we got we were talking about him earlier. Stan Swart.
Oh, Mr. Swart.
I'm so happy now that I've got Warren where I want him.
See,
Excellent.
have you got a red card on you?
My boy, you know what red card's all about.
Oh my word.
How you stand?
I'm well, thanks. Wogs yourself.
I'm very good, thank you.
No, it's nice to see you there. And it's, as I said to you earlier on, I watched the show last week, and
Yes.
it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Now tell us, Stan, how did you get to know this guy? What have you got any stories you can tell about this Julian Warren Jack?
Well, the first one I can tell you is Warren was playing for Leeds, and they were in the semi-final of a cup in Bloemfontein, and I was appointed as the referee, and Warren and I flew up to Bloemfontein from PE on the same plane, and we landed in Bloem, and guess what? Warren had forgotten his boots at the PE airport.
What did he do with the boots?
I was all sponsor, get a new pair.
Right. He knew. He was trying to cop a new spare pair from the sponsors.
What a load of rubbish, Warren, because let me tell you, they put another pair of boots on him, and it looked like he had his left foot and the right foot. And,
My word. Who were the sponsors at that time? Was that Adidas?
Yeah, with Adidas.
That is Adidas. So that must have been our Neft.
Yeah, Martin and Gavin Cowley.
Martin and Gavin Cowley.
Yeah.
He was on
Gavin was in Cape Town. He was the one of the top men for Adidas. A very good friend of mine. But let me just tell you a little bit about Warren.
Yes, please. We want all the dirt.
I watched Warren when he was playing in PE, because I arrived in PE in '81, and I started watching a game. And then I saw him playing. I refereed him a few times, and I thought, this guy is actually shouldn't be playing here. He should be playing in the top league. He had and I'm not trying to butcher him up or anything, but he was quite cool. be gangly, what you need for a person up front. He had a lethal shot, and it was extremely hard. He could hit the ball. And I happened to be up in Durban for a game, Leeds United. Was a new club in Durban. And after the game, the owner of the club came to me and he said, I believe you're from PE. And I said, yeah. He said, tell me, look, we've got a bit of a problem outside. We haven't got a centre forward. Is there anybody that you can recommend in PE? So I said, yes, I've got a guy and I'm looking well with him. So I gave him all the details. They contacted Warren. They put him up to Durban for a trial. And I think the second trial that he had the next day, they signed him straight away.
Excellent.
And then the best one was the very first game of the season. Leeds played against Kaiser Chiefs in Durban.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Leeds, being the brand new side, they beat Kaiser Chiefs 3-1, and Warren scored 3 goals.
3 goals.
Yeah, Sam, you remember, you know that game? I was talking to Garth Webster the other day, he's spot on.
Yeah.
Those days, Gary Bailey, he was in South Africa, so they had him on TV. And
Yes.
he would comment on every Friday night on the show, Orlando Pirates are playing Hellenic, and give his predictions on it.
Yeah.
And the game Stan's talking about, I'll never forget, Gary Bailey said, Chiefs play newcomers Leeds United.
Yes.
It's a mere formality.
Ah.
And as Stan tells you what happened,
3-1.
I'll never forget walking into the change rooms after the game. I smacked Gary on his back. I said, it's a formality again. Sorry to interrupt, Stan.
No, not a problem at all. That's the truth. I've always, and not blowing his trumpet at all, I've always admired him as a player. He's always given his very, very best. And that's one of the things about Warren that made him what he was when he played in the club. He got transferred to Amatulu. I think he got a bit of a raw deal there. But that is another story which he can tell you himself. But I will tell you a nice little story. I was invited to referee in an attorney's day five-a-side.
No.
No, we allowed any stories here. They're all okay.
And Warren kept chirping me that I'm being too old and things like that, and I shouldn't be refereeing anymore. I said, okay, we'll see. Warren came on as a sub. His first run down the line was like 15 yards, and he pulled the hamstring.
Cho.
Yeah, that was in Summerstrand there.
He sat the rest of the tournament out, and I kept walking past him and saying, how's the leg, Warren? How's the leg? I'm still here.
When you got friends like that.
Well, Stan could also, he'd been around there, as I said, but I mean, one of the other things we mention is this witch doctor stuff that they use in soccer.
Witch doctor
Oh, my word.
Remember, Stan. I mean,
I used to see them. I used to see these guys coming out. One of the things I saw was because as a commissioner, we used to have to go in and check the change rooms to see if everything was all right. And these bloody guys would get these little boys in and put a plug in the bath and make these little boys have a pee in the bath. And then they used to make the players with their boot walk through this. That was their mooting.
It's frightening. I mean,
Pee in the bath.
Yeah, I mean, frightening the things that I went through.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, I'll never forget staying as one holiday in Durban. We camped out there and I was with Amazulu.
Yeah.
So they put the hot water in the bath this time, but then I'll never forget those days, a bottle of Muti.
Yeah.
That was called, which they had purchased from a witch doctor
Okay,
somewhere in Umlazi.
Yeah.
They pour that in the water and me as a striker have to get in the bath.
Oi.
This stuff stank like you can't believe it. But now they're sprinkling it, all this. Anyway, we go play and we happen to win.
Yeah. Oh, that's got it every time now.
You're quite right, but you can't believe how the price of that bottle went up. I mean, but also, I mean, we'd go to some games, and I'll tell you, there used to be monkeys hanging in the change rooms. Dead monkeys. I mean, it was frightening, you can tell you. I mean, and they're superstitious with all that.
Yeah.
Still today, let me just tell you, Jomo Cosmos, and Jomo's son is a very good friend of mine. And they still insist on using two change rooms. One change room where all the players are, The other change room, it's closed up, and they put some kind of moody and they light it in the change room. So when you walk into the change room, it's just smoke, and the players have to all walk through that.
Yo. So
I saw.
there's still a lot of that, eh?
Oh, there's a lot of it still going on. Mamelodi Sundowns, before they play, one of their people go onto the field and he breaks an egg on the centre mark. That's
You know, it's frightening what goes on.
Gee whiz, I wonder, it's, I suppose, people pray before games and stuff, but it's like, which does God want you? Which team does God want to win? It's like I always think like, you always guys on the ground, rugby guys, you have a gebet before the game, but what happens if you haven't been as good as the other guys? Who's God going to choose now? Oh my God, I don't know.
No, it's frightening what transpired.
You must get Warren to tell you about when he was playing for Buddy Caddies, and they went to Joburg to play against Orlando Pirates in the cup.
Yeah, you warned me that day.
Let him tell you the story.
He warned me.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Oh, but thanks, Stan. I'm going to get into it. You can finish off with that story, but thank you, Stan, for joining us, man.
No, thank you very much, and I appreciate this. And Wogs, remember, I've still got so much respect for you as a player and as a person, and just remain the same as you.
Thanks, Stan. Same ditto, buddy.
Yes,
Okay,
you've
pal.
been an absolute pleasure to have on the show, Stan. Thank you.
Thanks very
Go
much.
well, eh?
Go well.
Go well, eh? Thanks,
Ciao,
bye-bye.
ciao. Oh man, that's a salt of the earth chap. I can
Yeah,
see.
is he, the story you wanted to tell me,
Yes,
tipped me
yes.
off. We're playing in Orlando Pirates in Soweto.
Yeah.
And there was, you had the stadium which was fenced in around the field, and then you'd walk up the tunnel, but that was a fence in tunnel.
as well. Okay,
So
okay.
half time came, Stan calls me because he knows me in P, that
Yeah.
most of my mates he didn't know. He comes and says, walk in with me with the other team, the home team Pirates. I said, why? He said, just do what I tell you.
Okay.
So we walked. When I got in, my team walked in first.
Yeah.
When I got into the change rooms to my players, they were just full of spit.
Oh,
That
no
the
way.
supporters from the Pirates would spit through that cage onto them as they walk into the thing. I mean,
Yes.
that's what Stan wanted me to tell you.
Wow.
But he saved me. He said, walk with me.
That is so
Yeah.
hectic. That's so hectic. I don't know if there's, I don't know if Stan, we're talking about Stan stories. Because you had a list of stories. Are there any stories you've got?
I mean, I don't know. What do you want to hear more?
If there's any other interesting ones that you want to tell us that we can, before we sort of finish up,
Well,
we don't want to miss out on anything.
No, I've told a lot. I mean, I don't know what else I could tell you. I mean, I've been whitewater rafting.
Oh yes,
That
yes,
was
yes. tell me about
fantastic.
that.
I was in Zim. Clinton White.
I've actually got yes,
Clinton White. I mean, Clinton and Scott Keevy and Des
Scotty-
White and all this. We
Yes.
all went down.
Did
And
Des also play soccer as well? Because
Yeah, but
Clinton
he-
was a really talented player
but
too.
Des was nowhere near like Clinton. But
Yeah,
Des
yeah.
was a organizer, manager, and he looked
Okay.
after his team. I mean, a lot of players played there because Des was there.
Yes, yes.
You know,
yes.
I mean, they'd always come with the best kit.
Oh really?
You know, got all the sponsors, and I mean, the other sides would be jealous. Anyway, we went down to Zim, and I mean, Clinton with his mouth about and
Yes,
Scotty
yes,
and
Chips, eh?
So we're going down there, Zambezi, and I mean, this big Zim guy is sitting on the back, and he handles this raft like anything. He can put it wherever he wants. And these youngsters start having a go at him. This is nothing. I say, hey, calm down. They're making trouble in
causing
so,
cut.
I forgot we can say it on your show.
Yes, we can.
So this I said, okay, you want something? He took us down the hardest section.
Yeah. Oh really?
I mean, two things that amazed me then there. I mean, he shot us all out the boat, the one. Well, everybody except one person.
Oh, you
I just held on to that thing. I mean, when I finished that trip down the river, what amazed me is they got a whole video of you going down the Zambezi. No, I mean, you're going down so fast. Who's doing it? I mean, that you in a gorge and traveling down, and then they show you the video when you finish in the clubhouse, and you see this boat literally, his eyes are roof out the water, and there I am hanging on this boat. I tell you, that experience
Yeah.
was one of my worst actually.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I was
Really?
going to
Scary.
drown because further again later on, we all chucked out and you end
Yeah,
up
of
here
course.
and then you don't know where's
And
anybody.
it's,
I mean,
I mean, you obviously got your life
it's
jacket
scary,
on, but that is scary.
But those guys in the kayaks, I mean, it's like them pushing a electric car around on the ground. They're so good at that kayak into the current through the waves. I mean, it's just because they're there for safety. Very
Okay. So they can go up, down, wherever they want to. But I suppose they know it very well, so they know where those little pools are. Because I always think you're going to get stuck under the water.
Oh, that's what I want. You don't know, or hit your head under the rock.
Yeah.
And then also motorbike racing. I did 4-wheeler motorbike racing, which I raced at Skabanti.
You mean like the quads?
Yeah, we rode quads. I mean, for years I rode quads, and then I got invited to ride for a team at Skabanti, which is...
You mean it's quite Scribante is the tarmac?
But,
I mean,
yes, but not on the main track.
Okay.
There's a gravel and all the land around.
there,
It was a 10k loop
Oh wow. Okay.
for 10 laps.
Okay. Jeez. So
And I didn't, I mean, that was a very funny story. I didn't want to get involved in this race because I just rode privately with my mate, but they literally begged me. So I end up there, I get to the Springbok Supina Day, I'll never forget. So I arrive there, and I'm going to go through it fairly quickly, but we arrive there, and all the guys have got their pit stops and everything, like real racing.
Yeah, proper.
I've just got my standard bar.
Yes.
Anyway, we
He's
get on the
over that
line.
break.
We get to the start line, and we're all standing there. Bikes are all revving. There's a red flag in the front. So they come to my bike. Your back light's not working, you can't race. I said, no problem. No problem, I can go. Nah, the biking world is such friendly people. Within 2 minutes, my bulb jumped.
Oh, really?
Then I had a flat tire before we pulled. I was sitting like this. I said, hey, stop it. Eventually, I won the race. I came first. I got a lovely trophy for riding a motorbike. It was my one and only race.
Yeah, I was like.
But yeah, we used
and
to
they all
ride at
fixed
the
your
back.
bike.
Yeah, we always used to ride the back of Telkom area behind
Yes.
the airport and that, and it kept me fit as well for the football as well.
Yeah,
So
that's Rover
yes,
way.
all of Rover and all that sort
So
of thing.
did you race 2-wheelers as well? Did you race?
I rode a bit 2-wheelers over the years, but nothing serious.
Okay.
And then as I finished all my careers, I ended up on the golf course. And
Yes.
the best I got to was a 6 handicap.
That's insane.
Which
I
I'm
couldn't even
now
think of getting close to that.
And but the injuries are sore now. And if I play, I mean, 3 days later, I can hardly walk my back.
Okay.
And then my ankle, of course, because I snapped my ankle. That's what ended my football career.
How did you do that?
Yeah, on the field,
And
playing
just,
PE on one of these cabbage patches, and I stood in a hole and just snapped the ankle. So that was the end of my career.
It's amazing that one little thing, one little odd flipping step, and your entire career can be over. It's
gone,
it freaks me out actually.
And then I went, and then I was the CEO of the Warriors Football Club. That's, if you can remember that they played in the Premier League, Micha Warriors, we
Okay.
had a club, brought Budgie Byrne down from Hellenic, David Byrne, all them. We had a club here running it here.
All right.
Which didn't do too well, but
Yeah.
you've got to have big money in that league.
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean, you got to have proper money, and Haysama put his money in. But once again, it was a lovely experience, and people who I met and went through the whole.
Hey, someone
procedure.
is he also involved in soccer over the years as well?
No, it wasn't, but it was more of a political move, I think, at the time.
Okay. Soccer, political game.
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah,
It
it
is.
was very much so.
It must have helped you in your,
Yeah, well,
in your
to
career.
this day, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of my clients are from the old days that I see, the ANC boys. And
Yeah.
I get on extremely well with most
Yeah.
of them. I mean,
And I mean, you've been there, and I mean, it just shows your with going to this pub and this thing that you do. What's the pub called? The cave. It's 7th Avenue.
Yeah.
I mean, you like to keep your roots intact there.
yeah, that's what I say. I like to know where I am, what's happening around me, and everything. So
Yeah.
if something happens, under control within 5-10 minutes. And the thing with the cave, as I said, there's such a variety of people there.
Yeah.
From cops, lawyers, doctors, mechanics, everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like one big family. Any problem, you say, hey, who knows? I know boats can do that. Oh, this one can do that. Like you can do that.
Yeah.
And everyone helps one another. Everyone works together.
And
Not a
there's
big
a little.
group.
I didn't realize this little
No, it's
flipping
big, and a lot of
community going
but
on.
there's
here.
a lot of people talk about it, and a lot of people ask me
I'm
about
gonna
it as
come-
well.
I'm gonna
Where
come
is
for
it?
a dog
Where
there.
is it? It's very
I'm
nice.
gonna come
Very
for a
nice.
dog. Gary's playing the basketball.
Yeah, I played
As
EP
well.
played EP basketball.
EP basketball as well.
That was great fun.
Holy crap.
Carl played with me. Carl Dalmas
Bahamas
played
as
with me.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just to tick off on his list of flipping things that he's EP for.
You know, interesting enough, the Coachman restaurant, George.
Yes.
George was a top South African basketball referee.
No way.
I promise you. I mean, look at
Okay.
that. You'd never think that.
I've got to get George on the
No.
show too, because he must be. an
Oh, he
interesting
could tell
chap.
you a lot of stories about
another
Port
Greek,
Elizabeth. Yeah. Also, nice guy. I met him. He used to be a bookmaker as well, old Georgie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A couple of them, man. Couple
Well,
of
you
them.
just we skimmed around the gambling story. Do you like
Yeah.
the GGs? Do you like to?
Yeah, look, I enjoy the soccer betting a lot.
Oh,
as
you
well.
do the soccer
Yeah,
betting,
yeah.
but that's something that you know about as well. So you
Yeah,
can kind
which
of.
it's better, and at least you get in 90 minutes to watch, you know. But
Yeah.
what I've learned over the years of taking horse racing, it's just luck.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, I know all the jockeys. I mean, I know the top jockey in the country, Warren Kennedy, personally. He's my personal mate. I'll phone him and say, Warren, he says, why am I so now? He says, no, I didn't work the horse. And
It's a jockey.
That's the truth. And there's so much that can happen. I mean, you know,
What
horses,
do you do? I mean, I've never bet on soccer in my life. What can you bet on? Like, I mean,
yeah, you go to Hollywood bet, you win or lose, a draw, who score first, all that sort of thing. So I just go win or loss.
okay, what
And then
else?
I take a couple of sides
Okay.
and then see what you get, because you get good odds. I mean, you can get up to 20, 30 to 1 if you put 6 sides. And I mean, but you know, it's
You know,
but I
Alec
don't-
Riddles or something like that.
yeah, Alex,
He's like-
no, Alex started me. Alex loves his gambling.
Yes,
I mean,
he
I gamble for the love of gambling, not to make money.
Okay.
My money's not, I don't put
Not
big
a
money.
job.
Those days I used to.
It's like it's my job. No, I'm a gambler.
Yeah.
Professional
No,
gambler.
no, no.
He's like, what?
I mean, in the early days, I'm talking when I came back from overseas, I mean, 30 years ago, I put 1,000 rand in a horse those days. And you know what stopped me gambling, Vic? I'll never forget. I used to love my clothes when I started my work, because you had to look smart those days. Today you got to work in jeans and,
Oh, a bit of
and a
fashion,
shirt.
you know, I
But
don't
no,
know.
my day I used to go with a collar and tie. And, I mean, even when John T. Rhodes' pants came out, every Tom, Dick and Harry did a John T. Yeah.
You know what? I turned mine into my cop trousers. My John T.
Yeah,
Rhodes.
those khaki ones.
Yeah, the khaki. I made them short pants and then.
I bet you seen me in the show with them.
That's the one. Really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, and it's so it got you off the gambling. That
Yeah,
was-
well,
yeah.
in that particular time, I'll never forget, I went with the Greef stable
Oh, yeah.
to Cape Town, and they had a horse called Captain Key.
Yeah.
And they went to Cape Town, and the horse was 5 to 1. And I still remember, Port Elizabeth horse going to Cape Town, you had no chance. And the jockey told me,
Yeah.
at dinner the night before, it's the best baby I've ever ridden. The trainer, Greef, was the best in PE.
Yeah.
It's the best horse I've had. Put some money. I
So
said,
winner.
no. I don't myself, I don't think he can win. Anyway, it won. So I was very upset. So on the way back to PE, I mean, Greef said to me, don't worry, the horse is running again in 2 weeks' time.
Oh.
In PE, it's called Captain Key.
Okay, he's tired now.
And racing was at Fairview, I'll never forget. And I shot up to Fairview, it was a little bit late, and I got caught in a trap, so I got a speed fine. And in the horse fraternity, if you get a fine on the way to racing, just turn around and go home.
Okay.
You know, because there's a lot of superstition,
Okay,
you get cold
yeah,
luck,
yeah.
and down racing
Talking
green, and
about
all that.
flipping Mooty.
Yeah, all that sort of thing. So anyway, that time, but I still got there.
Okay.
I put my 1,000 rand on this horse, Captain Key.
Yeah.
The race started, it was still those days, it was 5 to 10, which means it's a super favourite.
Yeah.
Came to about the 100-metre mark, this horse started what they call hanging. So the bit pulling, his tongue was like it says hanging, and he got beat on the line. And I left home, and on my way home I said to myself, you've just thrown a pair of Crockett and Jones shoes over the Van Stadens Bridge. And that's how I visualised it. I said, you're wasting money.
your money.
So that, to this day, I'll put 50, 100 rand, but as I say, I go for 30.
It's just plain.
Yeah, it's just for the fun of it.
Yeah,
to
it's
see,
just-
it's right.
Yeah,
it's
and
right.
getting that adrenaline
Yeah,
going.
no, there's no way I'll put big money,
That's
no.
a classic.
Yeah.
I love it, Warren. And
Oh,
you know,
there's my one from Lee. Oh,
there we
there's
go.
Kelly's one.
There's got
Yeah.
a couple of photos there. Barbara sent some through, and there's a lead.
It's his
Yeah.
There's
There
that
we go.
class telling about Shaunton Clark.
Okay.
That was when we played overseas. You could see the writings in Greek.
Yes, Greek there.
Yeah.
There's a Greek.
That was for Leeds.
There we go. Leeds. Yeah, that's quite a macho picture going on there.
I had a mop of hair.
You know.
Look at that. That's a
Giant
Mercury
killer.
News Mercury.
Ah.
Yeah, so-
Excellent. That was the days.
Yeah.
Lekker. Listen to you guys talking about values of property. Imagine buying a house for 1.2 million SA. That same value ZAR property here would cost you a cool 12.5 million. It's made of wood. Really sad down there in New Zealand. Well, I think it's an island. There's only a certain number of houses.
Yeah, no.
Diane Barnard saying, how's it? Let's
Yeah,
have a look at some of
Diane.
these comments before we say goodbye.
Oh, Casey.
There we go.
Where's the punter?
You know, he's taking nothing of your things.
Sorry,
He's
Keith.
giving up
It's
drinking.
Finch and Leeds, my brother.
It's Finch and Leeds only tonight, Keith. You know, clearly he's given up. Well, you don't drink. Do you not drink at all? You do a little bit.
I drink my fair share, but only Riesling Coke. I don't
Oh,
drink
is it?
beer.
Oh,
I
is
think
it?
I've had 10 beers in my life. I just don't really like the taste or any of it.
No, brandy and coke.
Yeah, but I have singles in a beer glass.
Okay.
But I'm not one of those to get fallen around.
Yeah. I don't like to do that. Otherwise, you lose too much money.
Yeah, but now and again you do. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You got your mother's EP hockey player. This is, it's not my mother's EP hockey player. It is my aunt's synchronized swimming
Yes,
blazer.
there's fires. You can ask me, Bali met the throat fires. Remember? Bali met the throat.
Rolling at the throat. There's it.
There we go. Kurt Money.
Money
Kurt,
is taking-
he was at school with us and he ended up being the top shot in the ER in Cape Town.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So us Alex boys have produced
Yeah,
some
no,
nice
they
guys.
produce PE, does it? It produces some oaks here. Last one here,
Mansi
Ramon.
Morgan played with us as well. Also very
Okay.
good, played Westfield football. He's got one problem.
What?
He supports Liverpool.
Oh dear. Okay, that's often a problem.
Yeah.
with these guys.
Okay. Never mind Keith with his Tottenham Hotspurs.
Ricky Lowe, always.
There we go. Ricky Lowe.
Who's Ricky Lowe?
Richly.
So I'm sure that Keith has sold it at some stage in his career as well.
No, he sold anything. He can sell anything.
Yeah, he can sell anything. It's ice in winter. But Warren, thank you so much, man.
Pleasure,
I don't know
thank
if there's a story that you've got that we always ask our guests. Your most embarrassing moment or your moment where something has gone completely wrong, and then your proudest moment.
My proudest moment is when my daughter was born.
Oh, but they always say that, Dave. They
Well,
always say that. You know, I should have
that's the
said you're not
truth.
allowed to say when your
Both
daughter
of
is
them.
born.
I mean, so I can't think of him bad. One I could, but I can't tell you that.
Okay.
But look, I mean, nothing really. I mean,
Yeah.
I've always been very alert
Yeah,
of what's happened. I like to prevent things happening. So,
Yeah.
so that could happen.
Yeah.
Stop that. The child has a glass. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's how I was brought up, just looking around and
And
my eye and everything.
nothing like a deal that's gone completely sour.
Yeah,
sour
no,
for you.
yeah, we've had a lot of those. A lot of those. Very
Like, what's
lot.
the worst one? Come on.
Well, I mean, how it would happen. I'll
yeah.
tell you, I'll give you a quick one.
Yes.
That most of you know. On the way to Kocha, you got the big railway shed, massive building.
Yes.
The trains used to come in there.
Yeah.
Those years, I went to Transnet and I put a proposal forward to them.
Yeah.
Can you rent this warehouse? And you must know inside it was big concrete slabs for the trains to come in.
Okay.
So it's not like a warehouse floor.
Yeah.
So I went to them and I said, guys, do you want to rent this out? And this is what I suggest you to do because standing the train lines were fraught and not working. Blah, blah, long story short, they said, no, we don't put any money into it, but you can rent it and rent it to who you want to.
Okay.
So I said, well, how much can I get it for? Now you must remember, there's 100,000 squares there.
Ooh.
So they said R2.50 a square,
Yeah.
which was great. Anyway, long story short, I put OK Bazaars together to make that their distribution.
Okay. Is that not where Checkers is now?
100%.
Okay.
So, but those days,
Yeah.
OK Bazaars
Yeah.
came along and they wanted this.
Okay.
After my proposal, and I got them to pay me R12.50.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay, and I'm paying R2.50.
Yeah.
So I'm
so you're
making
making
10
bucks
rand a square meter.
Square. Okay. Lekker.
25 years ago.
Yeah.
10-year lease.
Oh.
I'll never forget my kitchen. I mean, I'm a guy as well that I write everything. I'm not an IT person.
Yeah.
I've got to see it in my book and it keeps me, makes me work. I wrote every month's rental out for 10 years and I added up when I had. And it was fantastic. I mean, OK Bazaar's head office is down there. They took me to the Fish River for the weekend. It spoiled me, rotten, everything.
Yes.
They had the letter of intent and all of that to be signed on Monday in Joburg.
Yeah.
And I'll have it by Monday afternoon. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that phone call.
Yeah.
Came from the MD and he said, Warren, we've just been bought out by ShopRite.
Oh.
So we don't need it anymore.
Whitey Person.
Whitey.
Ay.
Anyway,
Damn
which
them.
I ended up
Damn
going,
them.
which I went to see Whitey, but there my deal fell flat.
Yeah.
And then what makes me upset, and as you rightfully said, and us as brokers hate it because you can get shafted quickly.
Yes.
ShopRite's in there now. I didn't make a cent out of it.
Yeah.
But it was my original idea, but it's years ago.
Yes,
and I've
of
been
course,
there for all
of
these
course,
years.
yes.
So
You should have gone with Spa, you see.
I've done a lot with Spa.
Yeah.
How much of that deal have been in today's
And today's
No, it's retired stuff in those days because I mean you'd be renting it out today at about, with the changes, about 35, 40 rand a square. No, it was, but then there's
Insane.
been the good ones as well.
Yes,
man.
the good ones
The
to
ones
go.
that've been on the phone and just because of your knowledge and your connection where you can go out made
Good
some
money.
serious money.
No, that's good.
Mm.
Oh, well,
Sounds
lekker.
good.
And may it continue.
And I mean, I've
Warren.
just done one now of late, Maison and my agent and myself, we just sold the Ever Ready factory
Oh, wow.
for 105 million.
Gee whiz.
So there is money coming into P. Mark
Yes.
Connett has just sold off Moffat on Main, which is interesting. Nobody will know. That
Okay.
just went for 100 million.
Wow.
Yeah, that's centre.
Okay. Yes, yes, for sure.
I mean, that is a absolute fantastic price for a purchaser. I mean, it's for free. It's literally for free. But the issue is there's not too much retail that can go in there. We oversubscribed with retail.
Okay.
So hence, but
So you've got to do
because you've
something
got
else
it
in
that
there.
price, you can change something, which I've got an idea or two for them.
Okay.
You don't have to only have retail,
Yeah.
it's brick and mortar, and once again, as I tell you.
Yes.
So something can be converted there nice for that price.
And it's a beautiful.
I mean, it
it's a
works out
beautiful
at
area.
about 2,000 rand a square meter.
Wow.
And to build that today is going to cost you
Yeah.
15, 20 rand a square meter.
Okay.
Plus the land,
Yeah.
which is at about 2,000 a square. The numbers
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
go
yeah,
through
yeah.
the roof.
Great.
So and these are Joburg guys that have come. So it's money into the East Cape. That's what I like to hear. My
Right,
opposition
yes.
sold it, but it's money coming into town.
Money's coming in.
Which at the end of the day, we'll all eventually spin off.
PE. We need the
100%.
oaks to pull in.
Yeah, we need
come
our
down
waterfront.
from up there, come to the coast. It's lekker here.
We need our waterfront and Kucha to go take off. Then we're going to be
There's it.
kings in P.
I'm there. I'm
The
going to find out
economy's
about
gonna
that
come.
waterfront.
Yeah.
What music do you like, Warren? First album. What's your first? I always like that. I like that question. Thank you for reminding me. What was your first album you ever bought?
Staying alive.
Staying Alive,
I'm
baby.
standing like that. Remember that?
Typical soccer players.
And you know where I bought it? Hunter's Retreat Pick and Pay.
Oh yeah.
Remember
I
those
that
years?
place. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
place,
got it
yeah.
up there those years.
I used to buy albums from there
Yeah,
too.
but I
Pick
didn't
and
buy
Pay.
much of music because I mean I had Webster around me most of the time, and he was like my traveling DJ.
Well, he was dressed like Saturday Night Fever when he came to the
No, he's always dressed like it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Warren, thank you so much for joining us. It's been fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
It was
Thanks
such an
very
interesting interview. I've really loved it. I loved the property and I loved the vibe. There are so many elements to your life, and you bring
and
this
it's not
passion.
over yet, huh?
Nah, it's going, still going,
Yeah.
and may the deals roll in. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
All right, so we're going to do
Thanks,
the competition
guys.
now, guys. We're going to end the competition. I'm going to get my mic. All right. Thank you to our sponsors, Fitch and Leeds and Spa. Thank you very much, and Namibia. And of course, Fat Cats, our caterer. And we got, what we're going to do is now, we've got a competition. I've decided we're going to find a center stage show. I'm going to find one of the songs that we did. I'm going to play drums to it. I want to know the original artist, and the name of the song. And put it in, first one to put it in the comments gets a case of Fitch and Leeds sent to you no matter where you are in the country. So we're going to head over now to the drum cam. We haven't done the drum cam for a while, actually. We haven't done this one for a while. All right. So let's see. We've got two drum cams here tonight. All right. And I love drums. This is my thing. This is my thing. We do drums. And Fitch and Leeds will send you a case of Fitch and Leeds, no matter where you are in the country. We don't care if you're in Joburg. Even in England, sometimes we get it to you, but it depends on whether we can do it or not. And so this is the song. We want to know who the artist is and the song, the name of the song. If you get them both in the same comment, you're going to get it. All right, so get ready on the keyboards. Get ready on the keyboards. Let's go.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you do to me when you don't believe a word I'm saying? We can't go on together success in mind. Living on prayer, I know. Nothing to say hello. When I still see suspicion.
We have a winner, Heidi Jansen. Heidi, you have won indeed. Well done. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. We'll get that to you, Heidi, no problem. And thank you to Spa. And thank you to Fitch and Leeds. Where the Fitch and Leeds is. There it is. There it is. There. And thank you to the guys for joining us. And we'll see you on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we have... I've forgotten who we've got to go to Tuesday. Oh, it's Trish Difford. Trish Difford is coming in on Tuesday. Now that is going to be a crazy show. Trish Difford is in. She's made famous by Come Dine With Me, where she was disrobing, I think. I don't know what she was doing. But we're going to have a good chat to her. We're going to have a chin wag. We'll see you on Tuesday. This is rebroadcast on Saturday as well. Thank you to Fat Cats. And so hello to the Saturday people. We love you too. Thank you to Casey. There's Casey. That's for you. But a punter's chin. Thank you, Warren. Excellent. Excellent. Cheers, guys. Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino Spot.
Gino